Alrighty, I think we're live, everyone. Let me know if you can see and or hear me. And with 3 minutes to spare. Look at that. Early. Does this ever happen on this channel? Rarely. I'm just so keen to watch this movie with you all. And with our horrible frenemy, Destiny, who's obviously going to be taking an extremely skeptical look at this movie, 2000 Mules. I'm a little more sympathetic to what it's suggesting, although I have my skepticism as well. I published my review of 2000 Mules yesterday. It got copyright striked, unfortunately, and was down for like 14 hours, which just obliterated it through the algorithm. So if you're jumping in here and you want to help out the cause of this channel, go hit like and throw a comment on my last video that was just destroyed by the algorithm. All right, you can all hear me. Brad says those highlights scream 1998. Absolutely. Return to tradition. All right? We're returning to the 90s. I wanted to be blonde, but I didn't want to deal with the hair damage, okay? Do we need a drink? We do need a drink. Hi, Elvin. Good to have you here. In fact, I was just going to drink the soda water, but then I remembered it would probably mix pretty okay with the Persian vodka I've got back here. So this is probably going to be a moderate drinking stream. Everything in moderation, people. We don't go overboard. We aren't alcoholics. You might think I'm an alcoholic because I almost exclusively drink on stream and I don't drink that much outside of it. But yeah, everything in moderation. Where's Venti? Venti and I, hopefully I'll set it up for next week. We're going to be playing Not for Broadcast. We played Papers, Please last time. It was a lot of fun. That stream will be in my VODs. I've got a little playlist. If you go to my playlists on my channel, that will show you all of the unlisted live streams you can go check out. Next, we're going to be playing Not for Broadcast with Brittany, but we're coming on start time. So I'm going to call Steven here and we'll see how this goes. Can I call now? Hey, and guess what, y'all? I bought this movie. I bought it. We're not watching an illegally pirated version. We're not watching it ripped and put on BitChute. I remember coming out with Borderless and seeing all these ripped versions. I don't mind when someone reviews my stuff. Someone can watch my whole documentary and do a point-by-point review. I will never copyright strike anyone. I put all of my films out for free. But, you know, if you're going to be doing a lot of content on a video, you should probably try to support it. So I did buy the movie 2000 Mules. We'll be watching the official version there. And it should be fair use. I'm looking at you people who gave me the strike yesterday. Because I did, what am I saying? Wow, where did my brain go? I did dispute it yesterday and it went through and it was okay. It was fair use. So as long as we're pausing, we're giving commentary, I think we'll be fine. If the stream goes down, like 10 minutes in, then adios. Goodbye, Lauren's channel. Lauren looks 21, Hermosa Beach. Well, a lot of people on the internet, I am Schrodinger's like 26-year-old, because apparently you either think I'm like 19 or 40. That's the only things I can be according to the internet. All right. As for super chats, if they are super relevant to our conversation, of course, I'll bring them up. I'll read them throughout the movie. If they aren't relevant and they're just like a random question for me, I will read them at the end. I've got my little window open for channel monetization, so I'll make sure to hit on every super chat that comes through. Your eyelashes are great today. Thank you. We tried. I didn't put on as much mascara as usual. Not mascara, sorry. Eyeliner. I have to do this. I have to do this to get the camera to focus. Did you marinate your brain in Persian vodka already, kiddo? Yeah, I did. Okay. Calling Destiny. Let me know if you can hear him too. We'll try to get... I always have the audio levels just a bit off every damn time. Yellow? You there? Nope, I can't hear you. And your little eye... Oh, sorry, there you are. Okay. Sweet. Okay, 1 minute. I need to get a mouse pad.
What? For what? Oh, for your mouse. Why do you not have a mouse pad at your desk?
I do. I took it off because I was cleaning my desk, okay? We don't live like men here. I actually clean my tech stuff. There we go.
Okay, these kinds of... Fuck! Hold on. I have to mute my stream because I'm on a no hating women for 2 months rule. 1 second. Okay, those types of incel comments might work on your community, but I've lived with enough women to know that you guys are fucking disgusting, okay? Women leave shit everywhere. Your bathroom counters have 52 different types of makeup smeared all over the fucking place. I bet it's in your bathroom right now. If you would take... Okay, so don't even start with that. We are women and we clean bullshit, okay? Don't even start. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're not saying anything mean about women for 2 months on my stream, okay?
That's not fair. You can't just focus on a woman's bathroom. Of course a woman's bathroom is going to be dirtier than a man's bathroom because men don't even bathe. They have like 1 bar of soap that they use for their conditioner, their shampoo, their face wash, and their moisturizer all at the same time. At least women take care of themselves properly. Hey, You're saying that like it's an insult? Oh, there's going to be makeup all over their counter. It's going to be... At least they take care of themselves. They have like 40 different products because they actually care about their skin.
Okay, you say that. All right, but every man will look at a woman coming out of the shower being like, you're not gonna dry your hair off? And then the woman's like, oh, no, I didn't wash my hair. And men are like, what the fuck do you mean you took a shower and you didn't wash your hair? It's like, oh no, I only wash my hair once a month. It just stays up there and somehow you're telling me you clean your face, your shoulders, you clean everything with your body without getting your fucking hair wet? Bullshit. I don't even think women actually try. I think you go in, you turn it on to where it's a scorching hot temperature and you think that as long as the bathroom is heated to 165 Fahrenheit, you're gonna kill all the bacteria in your body, and then you walk out, you pat yourself down with a towel, you wrap one around your hair even though you didn't fucking clean it, and then you walk around the house and you destroy everything by throwing clothes everywhere and smearing makeup on everything in the bathroom to make it look like you do stuff in there.
This is what I mean by when I say men don't know how to take care of themselves. Did you know that your hair produces more grease, or your scalp, if you wash it too often? You're not supposed to wash it every day. That's bad for your hair. It's bad for your scalp.
Here's the cope. Okay.
No cope there. Y'all have...
Oh, like, you're telling me, does your skin not produce oil?
Y'all have ashy skin, ashy hair,
does your
dandruff all over the place because you don't know how to properly wash. You don't get yourself on a wash schedule. Disgusting. Moisturize. Only wash your hair a few times a week, all right? Use more than just 1 bar of soap. It's disgusting, okay? Thanks. All right, shall we get to this movie? Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Because you're
all right,
wrong.
I need you... Okay, we're going to try something. I've never tried this before, okay? You're going to have to do some complicated stuff. Are you ready? Okay, does this link work for you? That might just go to my own shit. Or do you have like a window for live streaming on YouTube?
Do I have a window for live streaming on YouTube? Ooh. It says, yeah, I've got that open. What are you talking? I've got that open right now.
Okay, I'm just asking. Okay, I don't know if you need help. Okay, can you, on your live streaming thing, okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're going to click Edit.
Yep.
You're going to click Customization.
Yep.
Scroll down to Redirect at the very bottom.
Yep. Redirect allows you to keep viewers engaged across multiple events.
Yeah, good one. Click Add.
Yep.
Oh, God. Okay, click Community Settings here.
Do you know what you're doing?
Yep.
There's no Community Settings button. It just says choose specific video, your video or other channels.
Oh, click in Other Channels.
Mm-hmm. Am I going to...
Now click Community Settings.
Okay.
Okay. Under approved users, try typing in youtube.com/destiny.
Are you about to like hack my entire YouTube channel live on air?
No, I'm just saying if you can actually rate people on YouTube. It's insanely fucking complicated. I'm trying to see if it works. Okay?
Are you trying to make me send all of my audience to your stream right now?
No, I'm sending my audience to you because I'm a goddamn saint. Okay, sent from.
Okay.
Complicated. I'm trying to.
All right.
What happens
so
when you put
youtube.com
youtube.com?
slash Destiny. Approved users. youtube.com slash Destiny. Can't wait to get hacked. It comes up with Destiny the game, not you.
No, okay. Try type. Okay, try type in this one. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Does that work? Approved users.
I'm still typing it out. Relax.
Oh, okay, take your time. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, that one worked. All right.
Hold on. Let me.
Do I?
Just. What? Chill! Why can't I find your shit? Lauren Southern Official.
I just hit save, so it should work now. This is like the new version of the deleting System 32 prank. My whole channel is going to be gone in about 20 seconds here, guys.
True, exactly. Wait, hold on. I've got one game we need to watch you play real quick. Just do this. I want to see how you're doing this real quick. Put it on your stream, okay? This is really important.
What is this? Concert hotels? Got
Put
rhythm?
it so we can see your.
Okay, yeah, give me a minute. That's.
Yeah. This one isn't a hack. Okay, that's the third thing I'll send you.
Is this what you're setting up? Are you like giving me something to distract me, like giving a kid a ball so they'll go away, or putting on a Netflix show for them while you figure out deleting my channel?
Couple things, yeah.
All right, we'll bring this up on stream. 1 minute, guys. Window capture. Got rhythm.
Oh, you added me to that thing, right?
Yeah, I did.
Ask creators to add in their community settings. Once a channel gives you redirect permissions, you can send users to any streams or premieres that are upcoming or in process.
Guys, we'll figure this out when we'll be watching the movie shortly, but apparently I'm playing this game while Steven figures his life out.
No, say you're waiting for viewers to come in, so
Okay.
you don't disrespect any new joiners by something.
Tap along to the beat. The beat?
Yeah, show us. We need to see it.
So wait, what did I do?
Can we see your... Oh, there we go. Okay. Now you just have to tap your spacebar or whatever to the beat.
Am I bad at this? I did the game.
We're going to find out.
Okay, I got 638 out of 1,000. Am I horrendous?
That's expected.
Wait, wait, I'm going to try this again.
Okay. Oh my god. Wow.
Okay, there we go. 754. Not bad. All right, we're going to nail this. Wait, I fucked this one up. No. Okay, we're getting better. 771. What do you get?
You know, I've gotten like 920 before. I'm just
Shut up.
But... Okay, wait. Can you check something for me real quick, okay?
Yeah, what do you need?
Okay, click on your stream. Click Edit.
Mm-hmm.
Click Customization. Click Add under Redirect.
Okay, wait.
Oh my god.
I'm confused already. Okay, wait. Edit. Customization. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm back to redirect. Add and redirect.
Add.
Other channels.
Then click Community Settings.
Community settings. Approved users.
then-
Destiny.
That's an approved user. No. Go to under Live Redirects. You want to add a user for redirect. That's what you want to do. And then you should see youtube.com/c/destiny. Type that in and see if you get me there. Under who can redirect my channel. That's what you want.
Okay. You don't have any redirect. So, okay, so basically this is like a new feature that's similar to rating on Twitch that
It's
clearly they've
supposed
done
to
a
be.
horrendous job setting
Yeah,
up.
the integration is insane, but I'm trying to see if it works or how it works. Oh, boom. Okay, I can add you there. Okay, that works there, but I don't think I need it. I need
Once
it.
a channel, ask creators to add you to their list in community settings. Once a channel gives you redirect permissions, you can send your viewers to any of its streams. Okay. So I have
Okay,
to
but I
add
just need.
you.
No, you don't have to add me. Or yes, you do have to add me.
Yes,
I
I
need you to
do.
have. Yeah, right here.
Oh,
Okay.
you idiot. Sorry.
I'm an idiot. What?
You
How?
asked me to put you in approved users, but there's a redirect to my channel box that I just had to
Yeah,
scroll down to find.
I know it was a test and you failed. Okay,
Oh,
it's all
yeah.
right.
Okay,
All
sure.
right, go ahead.
All right. You're added now.
Oh, sick. I have a check mark next to my name. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom. Okay. Try the rhythm game again. Okay, have fun. Bounce the ball. Hold on one sec.
So he's doing this once again, just so my chat are aware, because he wants my channel to get banned for copyright, not his own.
Lauren, we call this a win-win in the business. If your channel gets banned, I can say that I took down an authentic alt-right Nazi queen. All right? Do you know how much social credit? They'll let me back on Twitch for it. Mm-hmm. Okay, you don't have any redirect privileges. Ask her to say the streams or premieres. Okay, do you have... Lauren, put the fucking bottle down. We haven't even started yet. You're out of control right now. What are you doing?
Are you gonna figure this out? You gonna be okay over there?
Is my little channel listed now under the live redirects? The little Destiny name. It's not Destiny 2 or Destiny the game or anything like that, right?
Customization, redirects, other channels. It says you don't have any redirect privileges, but you should be able to see my channel on redirect, not the other way around. You haven't given me redirect privileges. I've given you redirect privileges.
No, but when you go into the community thing where it says live, like look at the little menu that I'm showing.
Yes,
Live redirects.
yes, you are approved. Who can redirect to my channel? Destiny, not the game. The retarded, I mean the streamer.
Whoa! You've already been drinking too much. All right, hold on. Let me refresh this. If this doesn't work, I'll just link your stream and then fuck it. Okay. Wait, what denomination are you again? Are you guys allowed to drink? Or is that a sin in your... Redirect.
Can you not, do you know how to open the link yourself?
Open what link?
The redirect. Choose specific video.
I don't know what that even means. What video am I fucking choosing?
Oh, mad already, and the debate hasn't even begun.
No, I don't even know.
Obviously winning.
I don't know what I'm redirecting to. What am I supposed to enter?
I'm gonna show you a screenshot. Yeah, this is all
No,
your
I know
fault.
what I'm looking at. I'm just saying, how do I know what I'm... Her stream link. Oh, it has to be linked to her stream.
There you go. That's the thing you should have open.
Yeah, but what do I type in there?
Well, you should... So mine says I don't have any redirect privileges, but you should have redirect privileges since I just granted them to you. So do you not see my channel?
Okay, hold on. Do you know the X-Files spooky sound? Do you know when I say that? Do you know what that means? Okay, boom. There, look at that. Play that in your head right now. See, look. I have the same fucking window as you.
Okay, that is weird. Maybe it's just YouTube don't understand how this works yet. They haven't set it up properly. Have you seen anyone do this before?
No, I might have been the very first one, and now you're taking that from me. Okay, let me just read the thing real quick, and then if it doesn't work, I'll just link. Okay, chill. Okay, hold on. Google redirect feature.
I don't know what this means. Someone just super chatted saying...
It said, not a fan of Destiny, but not against him personally. Why even say that then? Why not just say, glad Destiny's joining the civil discourse? Why do you spineless cucks always have to like put these like flags in the ground where it's like, I'm not a fan of Destiny, but I just want to say I appreciate him talking. Like, Jesus.
As if your audience don't do that every time I come on your stream. But I preferred Sam's, which was, please tell Destiny that I think both of you are cool in a brain from Arthur kind of way. I don't know what that means.
What do you mean you don't know what that means?
What is you're cool in a the brain from Arthur kind of way? What does that mean? Is that a good thing? Is it a bad
I don't.
thing?
I just assume it's a Crowder reference somehow. So I don't know. Right? Wasn't he the voice of that guy?
Yeah, Crowder was a voice of the
So
brain,
connect
but
it. Make it work. What are the chances that he called out that character? Okay. How scammers abuse Google search. No, this isn't what I want. Okay. Redirects. No. Oh my God. Somebody link me the thing real quick, please. How are you doing today? Walk us through your day today.
no. I don't think I will.
Wow, great conversation. Thank you. Okay. Well, I tried.
How's your manifesto going?
How do you? Why do you have to be such a bitch? Okay, you don't have to make an enemy of me. Okay, you just have to make an enemy of my audience. All right, so tone it down.
Hey,
Where's your manifesto at? that you've been
I've
talking about
already
for a
filmed.
week
I've
now?
already filmed 3 episodes of it, and the first
Yeah,
2 are
so have
edited,
I.
and they're going live in
Yep.
2 days.
Same.
And
In
I
2
only
weeks for
started mine last week, so
That's great. Well, you know, when I don't know what jokes I'm allowed to make. Don't you get other people to write your shit for you? It's not that impressive, Lauren. Okay, just kidding. All right. How to use live redirect? Can you send your blah 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 another channel once your stream ends? If I ever say anything that's offensive but it's really true and you don't want people to know how sensitive, just scream red light. Okay, so that way we know when to stop. Okay?
right. So that way I know what to make sure your audience relentlessly attack me for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, do we redirect viewers? Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Redirect your live stream viewers. Create a live stream. Click edit. Okay, hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about this for a second while you figure out your tech stuff. Did anyone else watch Ben Shapiro's review of 2000 Mules? I just watched it like a few hours ago. I was so triggered because it was like identical to my own. But he mentions that he's got a VPN. He's like, look at all this phone tracking info that Dinesh is exposing. Now make sure so that you don't have your stuff tracked. You go to and get, what VPN? I don't know what VPN it was, but I was thinking like you're gonna have 2,000.
Maybe he might have mentioned Surfshark, because if you go to surfshark.deal/destiny, wow, you can get like 3 months. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. He's gonna have like 2,000 purchases of VPNs after that. Like, how would everyone that if there were actually all these mules doing ballot stuffing, aren't they all just gonna get VPNs now? Now that they've watched Ben Shapiro's review,
basically aiding and abetting the enemy.
So true. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Just 2,000 signups for Surfshark right after your whole audience just ballot stuffing, and now no one can track them anymore. Tragic.
It is my audience that would do that too. Thank you.
Lauren, are you going to re-upload your 2000 Mules video? I did. The algorithm just obliterated it. No one got notifications after it was down for like 14 hours or something.
Does Lauren Southern think the election is still? Who knows? We're about to find out.
Yeah, we're about to get into that.
Okay, I'm going to link you guys to her stream. Maybe it like takes a day to like update for the YouTube shit to work, because I don't think this is working, so. Your videos, other channels. You don't have any Yeah, it's not doing it.
I have a great idea. How about you just tell your audience to come over to my channel?
That's what I just said I was going to do, motherfucker.
Did you?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I don't. Well, what is this? What is happening here? Okay, here's a thing. Why? Is this your live stream link? Go over there. I can't risk my channel getting fucked, so we can't risk our channel getting fucked. Simple tutorial. Thank you, dude. Oh, do you have a way for me to watch this?
Yeah, I can show it to you on Discord while streaming it.
Jesus Christ.
Because I am a tech god, unlike yourself.
Okay. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going over to Lauren's stream. Have fun. Peace out. Bye.
All right. Can you turn your video on and I'll throw you up on here?
Yeah, sure thing. Do I need to delete the... Never mind. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom.
Okay. This is going to take me like 10 minutes to figure out.
thought you were a tech god.
I am, but I like to do things precisely, carefully, get it all right.
Gotcha. Tell Lauren her 720 stream looks like dog shit.
Whoa.
Tell her to up my volume. Why do you stream at 720?
Wait, what does this mean? Like it's not 1080p?
That's what it sounds like. If it's 720p, I assume it's not.
Well, whatever. Whatever. How do I share? All right, I'm going to try to share this video with you for this page. Share your screen.
The stupid anime meme, Jesus. All right, boom, boom.
Here we go. Share a window. Got it.
Jesus Christ. Okay, boom, boom. Tell Lauren to raise her volume output levels. Are your volume output levels low?
You just told me to raise yours. Oh, okay, so for both people?
I guess on OBS there's a thing under desktop volume. Raise it all.
Yeah, I've done that.
Good job. Someone in your chat said blaze a joint, Lauren. Is that legal in Canada? Can you guys do that?
You can, yeah. I don't really smoke weed. I don't like. I mean, I have, obviously. I'm Canadian, but it's not. I prefer alcohol. All right.
Why?
Can you see the movie?
Okay. Yeah, I can. Well, I mean, I see the thing. Okay. You're sure your shit is okay, right?
What do you mean?
That you're not gonna get banned or anything? I don't want to be like the person that you're crying to about your channel getting destroyed or something, okay? And then you're like, you were secretly 4D platforming all along. You got the emails. They were like, this is chill. You're good to go.
Well, you know what? I already got permission once for my last one. I emailed them and asked again. And we're doing commentary on it, so it should be fair use. And I only have one strike for showing footage of Pride parades. So this would be strike 2. Do you have 2 strikes and like 3 you're out?
I have 1, but 2 strikes in my mind is the same as 3. I don't think I would ever stream with 2 strikes because if you get hit, you're fucked. Okay, wait. 2 questions real quick. Yeah. Somebody said, fuck, I'm trying to figure out. Somebody said my volume was high and yours was lower. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, I'm watching the levels right now and they look the same.
Okay, you can see levels, that's fine. Okay, second thing. While we're watching this, when we start watching it, can you look at on your YouTube live streaming thing, under the, like, where there's a little green button where it says everything is okay? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm gonna look right now though.
I'm sending you a picture. Like it'll, like where that thing is, it'll usually say like everything is okay or like your video quality is low or something like that.
You're sending me a picture. Oh yeah, I can see that.
Okay, when we start watching the documentary, glance over at that after like 30 seconds to a minute and keep looking at it and see if it ever says copyright audio or video detected on stream, then we need to stop and figure out something else because that means that YouTube is about to shut your stream down for a content ID claim. And if you keep streaming through that, it'll turn your stream off and it might strike you, so.
Okay, good to know. Okay. All right. Well, let's try it. Are you ready? Where's your drink?
Oh, right here.
Okay, yeah, okay. Again.
I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. All right, I'm going to take notes, okay? This is a hardcore critical media analysis time, all right?
Oh, actually, you know what? I think I missed the very start.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, whatever.
Wow. They got really good footage of this guy kneeling, dude.
Every time we vote, we're standing up side by side with the Founding Fathers, with the men of Valley Forge, with patriots and pioneers throughout our history, with all
What
those
are you
who
laughing
dedicated
about?
their lives to
I'm
making
listening.
it.
Quiet.
What
Am
is
I
so
right?
funny about it so far?
It's so fucking serious. We got a dramatic reenactment of a dude in a Destiny fucking sweatpants outfit, okay? Fucking sneaking ballots into a ballot box from satellite imagery that Jason. It's very dramatic so far. But I like it. I appreciate it. This is our democracy. Now go back to so I can listen to my most important fucking right, please. Okay?
All right.
It's a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Elections are the lifeblood of our democracy. They are the mechanism by which the American people choose who is going to rule on their behalf and for their interests and welfare. Without elections, there would be no way for the American people, for us, to exercise our legitimate sway on the future direction of this country.
Do you disagree with that? Are you already like waiting to debunk?
That's great. I
Dinesh,
love
fact
it.
check
That's
on
good.
that one? No?
Dinesh,
Okay.
I wish his accent was a little thicker. It'd make it a little bit more ironic for our conservative standpoint. But no, so far we're doing okay, all right? Oh no, the mail-in ballots. Oh no.
Closed in half the country, and we are getting some interesting results coming in from those battleground states.
If you're a Republican, you say, wow. If you're a Democrat, you say, uh-oh.
You see, Donald Trump is now starting to widen his lead. President Trump now with 54% of the vote.
The president right now has the lead in the Keystone State.
We're going to have a great night, and we're going to have, much more importantly, we're going to have a great 4 years.
The 2020 election haunts the American mind.
Here's where it gets really bizarre. At Fulton County, most populous county, it is Atlanta, they just stopped counting.
Nevada, meanwhile, has stopped counting votes.
They've all stopped counting for the night?
All right, welcome back. This is CNN special live coverage, 10:31 a.m. on the East Coast. Why am I giving you the time? Well, if you managed to sleep last night, things changed. You may have gone to bed thinking this election was headed one way, and then you woke up and you saw things were different.
Also overnight, Joe Biden pulled ahead in the state of Georgia.
Joe Biden takes the lead in Pennsylvania.
Okay, we have an announcement to make.
Joe Biden has run for president 3 times, and the 3rd time has turned out to be the charm.
That mask, does it make you upset when you see him wearing it? Is your blood boiling right now?
You know he takes it off, like, as soon as the cameras turn off.
Yeah, you're seething.
You know,
both of them had the mask on. They were probably making out backstage, because that's what Democrats do in their sex cult parties. You just see him there, and you're like, oh, God. He probably still wears it on planes and everything. Oh, my goodness. But I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Unironically.
Unironically.
The 2020 election was the most secure election in American history.
It was the cleanest election, the safest election, the most secure election ever run.
And make no mistake.
Wait, do you believe that? Do you believe that the 2020 election was the most secure election in American history?
No, I think that every single intelligence agency and even Donald Trump's own State Department and own State Department head and FBI head, they just came together and they said it for memes, I think. Or it might be the case that with the combination of Russian intrusion, the combination of an unprecedented amount of mail-in ballots, and the unprecedented scrutiny of the election, it actually was the most safe and secure election ever held. But, who knows, Laura? One or the other. What could it possibly be,
Right. Very serious answer.
Who knows? The same party that's so incompetent it can't get its messaging together within its own fucking party members somehow ran an elaborate 333 million person scam for voting by. Who knows? We'll see. But we'll see. This video, I'm sure, will make a convincing argument.
Widespread voter fraud.
Let me say it again.
The 2020 election was the most secure
Election in American history.
Period.
This same side accuses anyone who disagrees with them of perpetrating a
Big lie or the big delusion. The big lie.
Wait, was he walking in front of the White House or Capitol Hill? Do you know which one?
No, it's actually Bernie Sanders.
And despite the relentless media barrage, the other side remains convinced there was widespread election fraud.
What I saw was not a secure and transparent election.
Poll watchers claim the Travis County Clerk's Office is locking them out.
Last night, there was a major software glitch that actually delayed the counting of all of the ballots.
A look at election fraud, and I want to look at secretaries of state who illegally changed the voter laws without the permission of their state legislature.
There have been numerous attempts to prove election fraud.
A van dropping off ballots in the early morning hours of November 4th, 8 hours past the deadline.
She said her mother was in a nursing home and did not have the mental capacity to vote.
We've obtained video tonight that shows a man dropping several ballots into a drop box.
Scottsdale woman pleads guilty to casting
What
a
is
ballot
funny
in her
about
dad's
that? What
mother's-
is funny about election fraud to you?
It's not just the guy's like, my mom is too retarded to vote. That was a funny comment to throw in there, I guess. I'm sorry. Keep going. It's serious. Go ahead.
Name shows a man buying a registration form for an absentee ballot from a voter, giving him, quote, pocket
Okay,
money,
wait. No, my
unquote,
audience are saying push back. What am I supposed to push back on? He's literally just laughing at a man whose mom had a fake ballot cast for her. What am I supposed to
A fake ballot cast?
Well, she couldn't vote, and her vote showed up, apparently, so...
He just said she was mentally incompetent. Maybe that means that might be code speak for she's a Republican. You know, who knows? Also, listen, hearsay, and people say a lot of shit, Lauren, when they're not under oath. I'll just say that much. People say a lot of shit when they're not sworn to fucking testimony. But hey, you know, we'll see what happens.
Chat,
okay?
we haven't gotten to any of the evidence in this. He's literally just laughing at the comments in the movie. There's no debate to be had here, okay?
It's okay if you're becoming a libcuck, okay? It happens. You spend enough time on YouTube and you start dyeing your hair blue, joining weird fucking satanic sex cults, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Courts have refused to consider these cases on the merits.
The Supreme Court rejecting an effort by Republicans to reverse President-elect Joe Biden's win in Pennsylvania.
The Supreme Court has rejected the Texas-led effort to toss
that was
out
a lie,
election
but okay.
results in 4 key states.
Even some Republicans dismiss the idea of systematic fraud and call for us to move on.
Fraud did not play a role in the outcome of the election.
The election was fair as we've seen. We simply did not win the election as Republicans for the presidency.
Rather than reject what happened on the 6th, reject the lies about the election, and make clear that a president who engaged in those activities can never be president again.
But we can't move on unless we know the truth. Many other
God, I love the
issues
slow motion
arise
fucking
out
walking
of the
footage. It's so
2020
good.
Election.
You know what? Steven? I'd like to see you make a documentary. I'd love to see you make a documentary and how great it would look.
I know, I'm complimented. It gives it a sense of urgency. This guy's going an important
online all day, play video games, and someone actually goes out here, spends tons of money, gets a professional film crew, makes a movie, and you're laughing at slow-mo shots. Like,
I'm not. I sort of like it. It's very dramatic. It gives a sense of urgency. It's like it's the real shit. This guy is walking, okay, to Capitol. He's gonna get some goddamn answers. Okay, he's got his hands in his pocket. He's got his coat on. He's ready to fucking throw down. Okay, keep going. It's all right.
I'd
Or was that your form of pushing back?
Your blue trench coat, filming a documentary on anything.
Oh, so now we started the personal attacks. Okay, all right.
Did the January 6th protesters go to D.C. to mount an insurrection?
Do you think every time he tilts his head up, he's looking for answers? I'm sorry.
It was a primal scream.
This is it, people. This is the left. This is all they can do. They can just
we're
mock.
Oh my God! Look at that police officer. Wait! Scroll back to that police officer. Wait! Holy shit! Pause when you see that. Are you triggered that he's wearing a mask? They both are. Does that upset you, or? I'm sorry. Keep going. We're good.
They wanted their elected leaders
Probably
to adjudicate
covering
the
up their
claims of
identity because they're
election
about to open those effing doors for all the people to come into the Capitol.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was sad because this was like the one day of the year we don't have Captain America ready to fight off 400 fucking rioters. But what are you gonna do, man?
On social media of the so-called big lie.
This morning, President Trump waking up without his favorite megaphone.
You will never again see a tweet from President Trump.
But is it a big lie?
Okay.
Oh, that might not have aged well.
Sorry. It is all your audience in my chat repeatedly saying, is Lauren a libtard? Why isn't she pushing back? This is all your audience.
Probably. Well, you see what happened? You just screamed red light without knowing it, and now they're all picking up on your insecurities. Pretty soon they're going to make fun of your drinking habit, so you better be careful.
Sound speed. All right. Everybody got me? Yep. All right. SRP.
Ready? Set.
Hey, I'm Dinesh D'Souza, and this is Season 1, Episode 1 of my new podcast. I started my podcast in early 2021 to speak the truth. But by simply asking questions about election fraud, you get booted from YouTube and Facebook.
Jesus.
My podcast
True.
is sponsored by Salem Media, and I knew that other Salem hosts felt my frustration. Larry Elder, Dennis Prager, Eric Metaxas, Sebastian Gorka, Charlie Kirk.
I can never tell if his face is photoshopped. Even in this video, I can't
Let me
tell.
begin by asking a very simple question. Do we feel confident or comfortable that we know the truth about what really happened in the 2020 election?
I'm agnostic on this question, and I am awaiting more information.
What about you, Eric?
I think Dennis is a coward. I think, no, honestly, it's almost funny to me you say you're agnostic. And I think most Americans know that we don't know what happened and are not okay with that, by the way.
I'm supposed to believe that a man who didn't campaign or campaign from his basement got more votes than the first black president in America? I don't believe it.
Charlie?
We have crumbs. We have some evidence here and there, but the picture is far from complete.
Larry, in your race, you were
Do you have any problems with their analysis so far?
Yeah, it's all trash, of course, but I mean, they're spineless Republicans, so I'd expect nothing
Oh,
less.
wait. They're all saying we don't know. How is that a trash response?
Because all of the challenge, none of them were saying this about Trump winning. Even though Trump was like, what,
Every
underfunded
Democrat
massive...
was saying it. Every Democrat was saying that it was a fake election. The Russians stole it, blah, 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 blah. They tried to impeach Trump over it.
Lauren, okay? I'm going to assume this is the alcohol talking, okay? Hillary, like, gave it up that night. She conceded that night, okay? Republicans
I'm not
are
talking
still
about
fighting
Hillary.
this
I'm
election.
talking about the Democrat commentators, which is these are Republican commentators. These aren't Trump.
Okay, I'm not... We'll do it later. If you want to write that claim down, my understanding is
It's
there
true.
weren't people...
Did they not try to impeach Trump over the Russia stuff?
No, not over stealing the election. No.
But a lot of them claimed that.
No, hold on. Okay, wait. One crazy claim at a time, okay? Trump won the election.
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, every lawmaker and Hillary Clinton said, yeah, okay, yeah, he won. There might have been some people on the news like reading that there was like election interference or something by Russia, but I don't recall
And none of them
anybody
were
saying,
shut down. None of them were shut down.
I don't
banned from
recall
Facebook or Twitter.
Well, because so far every statement I've made is true. Okay, I don't recall any of them saying that like the election was hacked or that like there was illegal voting that changed the election. There might have been one or two news companies that did it, but I don't
find this.
Okay, we can look for it later if you want. But you know what? If they made those statements, I'd be critical of them too. But they didn't carry on for months or years afterwards. That's for damn sure. So even if they did, even if there were a scattered few, it's nowhere near as much as there on the Republican Party now. But even if there were a scattered few, it is orders of magnitude away from the Republican hissy fit that they're still throwing years after. Okay.
Sorry.
Number one. Okay. Number two, like.
Democrat Party files suit alleging Russia, Trump campaign, and WikiLeaks conspired to disrupt the 2016 election. Let's see.
That is not that's not tampered vote. Lauren, do you wait? Hold on.
I'm not talking. I'm just saying they don't think that they were questioning the democratic process and saying that the election was messed with.
Okay, I'm gonna
the Republicans
ask you,
are saying it in a different way for sure, but they're
no.
both questioning the democratic process in America.
What do you think I would say if you were to ask me, Stephen? What's the difference, Stephen, what's the difference between what the Republicans are alleging versus what the Democrats alleged? Okay, pretend that you asked me the question. Now pretend that you're me and you have to answer the question. What do you think I would say?
I don't know. What would you say?
You can't think at all? You have no idea what I would say to that?
I'm not.
The difference is that the Republicans would say there was actual voter fraud. Illegally dispensed ballots or distributed ballots, or like there was an illegal change of the vote tally. And the Democrats would say there was foreign interference in the way of illegal advertising campaigns or whatever, which happened, or there was foreign interference and that they were coordinating with certain members of the Trump campaign, which also did happen. Like these are true claims. So you can argue that they're both quote unquote the same, but they're not. These are different types of claims. They mean way different things. And if there were Democrats saying that there were votes rigged, I would say that's wrong. There was no evidence to ever claim that, except for like a handful of 2 or 3 cases or whatever on the Republican or the Democrat side.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I think that my position on this is I think big tech, algorithms, media all pushed back against Trump in a way that almost rigged it against him. Like, if you can't actually hear what Trump is going to say, and you can only hear it through the voice of pundits, to the point where him and anyone who supports him are banned from all these tech platforms, of course he's not going to win the election. Social opinion is just going to be totally shifted by all of these algorithmic
And
changes.
yet in 2016, with the entire mainstream media and internet world poised against him, he happened to win. So, I mean, but like, I'm not even going to necessarily disagree with your claim. I don't think that's fine. We can talk about like the mainstream media as somebody that is currently banned from 2 of these platforms. I would agree with you that that seems to be a problem.
Okay.
But it's a fundamentally different claim.
Okay, sure. I agree with that.
Okay, cool. Okay.
But no one here yet has said that.
No, they're just taking cowardly fence-sitting positions because they know they're wrong. They know they have no evidence, and they're lying, saying it wasn't tested in courts. When this were tested,
they're saying
in all
they
sorts of
don't
courts,
know.
they're never going to know. That's what they're going to say. They're never going to know.
Right.
Do you think they'd say that about 2016?
2020 election was stolen.
I don't know. I haven't seen. Maybe not. Maybe
Oh,
maybe
you
not
don't.
Like
Yeah. Okay.
Not like a Kirk person. I think maybe a someone more like Prager might say something like that.
What was your answer, and do you abide by that answer as of right now?
My answer was that Donald Trump is in Mar-a-Lago, and Joe Biden is in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The lawsuits did not succeed. Do I believe there was shenanigans? Do I believe there were irregularities? Absolutely, and said so. This is probably the most loathed president I've ever seen. I thought Richard Nixon was loathed. I thought George W. Bush was loathed because of the Iraq War. I've never seen the level of vitriol against this man every single day. I think there was a study that found 91% of the news of ABC, NBC, CBS nightly news against Donald Trump was negative, dogged by a bogus 2.5-year collusion investigation. And then on the eve of the election, this Hunter Biden story drops, which shows that Joe Biden completely lied about his lack of knowledge of what his son was doing, and it was suppressed. And even the CEO of Twitter later on admitted that it was suppressed and shouldn't have been. That alone would have altered the election. You add all that up, my point is, this man is so loathed, I wouldn't put it past the Democrats to do virtually anything to make sure he doesn't get another 4 years.
If I believed the president were a Nazi, I might steal an election.
If we were Germans in the 1930s, we'd steal the election from Hitler if we could.
If I'm that indoctrinated, of course I can justify it.
I think it was Jane Fonda who said that COVID was God's gift to the left, right? It wrecks the empirical positives of the Trump economy, but here's the other. It enables a whole bunch of things on the other side to change the rules of the election. So the point is, in a COVID environment, is it not conceivable that Trump could have lost fair and square?
I think millions of Americans know something went wrong, and they have little pieces, and no one's really put it together. They know that there was injustice. They know it in their gut. They know it through the bellwether counties where Donald Trump won almost every single one of the predictive counties that show who's going to be president. And then they also know it where they went to bed thinking Trump was going to have 4 more years, and they woke up with the exact opposite.
We have an individual who could fill a stadium with 60,000 supporters in 24 hours. Vice an individual, you know the famous photograph of the 6 empty circles at a Biden rally. We have an incumbent president who received more votes than any other incumbent president in American history, who actually got 10 million more votes than he did 4 years prior, and who received more support after 4 years of being called a racist and a white supremacist, more support from the Hispanic and black community than any Republican president since the 1960s.
It seems like this has got to be like a philosophy student's like fucking like freshman year project. Like how many, like you take like a prop logic class and they're like, how many non sequitur statements can you make in a row that have absolutely nothing to do with the conclusion, was the election stolen? Well, he got more votes than he did last time. He filled a stadium. People slept thinking one thing and they woke up thinking the other thing. The CEO of Twitter is an asshole. Like
they're setting up the questions, and then like obviously Gorka and Dinesh going back and forth saying, you know, wait, sorry, I'm getting feedback from you. Is that your side? Okay. Obviously Gorka and Dinesh going back and forth and being like, you know, if you genuinely believe Trump was a Nazi, then you'd want to rig the election against him as well. That's just setting up the premise of the movie, setting up where the reasoning might be. I'm getting feedback from your side of this, and it's messing with me.
Good.
Hello?
Do you still get it? Talk.
Hello? No.
What
it's
about
gone
now?
Wait, no, it's not. What the hell?
Wait, I'm gonna hang up and recall you because sometimes it's weird. 1 sec.
Okay, wait, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay, talk. Hello?
Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Cool.
Yep. Better.
Okay. Go. Or, take your time.
Who couldn't speak clearly.
Actually, wait. What I was saying was they're setting up why the Democrats would do this. It's not the answer of this is how they rigged it. They're just setting up the why.
Okay. Wait, are you still getting feedback?
On the campaign stage would confuse his sister with his wife. It just stinks.
Now, is it possible that the very success of Republicans down ballot, I'm talking about Republicans running for the House, running for the Senate, running for other races, the fact that the Republicans as a party did pretty well, but Trump lost, doesn't that work the other way and undercut the idea that there was systematic fraud?
It's an anomaly because when a president really loses, he has tails. What is it called?
Coattails.
Coattails. And the down ballots lose. But they won. Why didn't they cheat on all of those? Why didn't they cheat in Virginia with Youngkin?
And who's to say they didn't cheat? Not all attempts at cheating succeed.
You're right.
One other question. In the Republican Party, I keep hearing people who seem annoyed at the revisiting of the 2020 election. Their attitude appears to be, let bygones be bygones. Let's just move on.
I think the reason that many Republicans are saying let's move on is because bold accusations require bold evidence, and they haven't seen it.
And because they know how vulnerable they are and how much they're going to be bashed.
Well, yeah, you're called a sore loser. You're called a conspiracy theorist.
The people who say that, let's move forward, are people in the elite who see Donald Trump as an anomaly.
You will not win in any district in this country because you have said that the 2020 election was a fraud. And if they can't win on this issue, then don't use it.
Well, it doesn't have to be the only issue, but their unwillingness.
Fair? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, Prager actually has like some political mindedness going into this. Good job. He's not a total fucking idiot like every other person sitting around him is. This guy in green pants is just pissing me off so much. Let's see what he's about to say.
Even to speak up about it, I think is despicable.
Show me the proof, and I'll bet you they do speak up. Just like I will speak more, and I'm not running for office. But I have not gone on board of, I know for a fact this was a fraud.
Show me the money.
And what about Elder?
Is that the black dude?
Yeah.
Everything he said was dumb as fuck.
Whoa, Elder literally said the same shit as Prager. Are you even watching this movie?
I heard him say like 20 different soy statements about why. We can go back and watch if you want. All of these guys are like laid out statements about like, oh, they would have tried to cheat. I don't know.
Elder literally said the reason Republicans are not running with this issue is because big claims require big evidence. Like you need something substantial. Wait, do you disagree with that?
No, I agree with that. I mean, his final statement was okay, but I don't think Prager.
Great, awesome.
I mean, the Democrats,
like Larry Elder.
they have a history of voter fraud.
Absolutely.
Going back to Tammany Hall in the 19th century, we fast forward to LBJ stealing his first race in Texas. John F. Kennedy, the allegations that he stole the presidency with voter fraud in Texas and in Illinois.
They've done it before.
I mean, you can have someone who has a criminal record and they're fully capable of robbing a bank, but did they rob the bank?
Well, it looks like it.
What does our friend Catherine think about all this?
Catherine's been a little quiet, but I think that means that they're working on something. I think that you should give her a call and see what she thinks.
Hi, I'm Catherine Engelbrecht, founder and president of True the Vote.
Hey, Dinesh, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Hey, listen, I'm here with Debbie.
Hey, Catherine.
Hey, Debbie.
You know how crazy it is out there. Have you guys been digging into this whole issue of voter fraud?
Well, we have been working on something big. It's probably best we don't discuss it over the phone, but can we meet?
I can't talk about it over the phone, but I can do it for your documentary.
I've been working with Greg Phillips.
I'm sorry, it's okay.
Introduced him to you, but he has a deep background in election intelligence. He's worked projects all over the world. He's a massive 30-year experience. We decided to test a hypothesis, and we went really big. And now we have something that we think you're going to really want to see. So I'll send you the address separately.
Now, Greg Phillips, what's your background that prepares you for this kind of work?
I've been in and around election intelligence and integrity for about 40 years. We've done investigations literally all over the world. It's a combination of data acquisition, data analysis, occasionally some in-depth
Is he going to name an
data
organization,
mining.
or
Our ability to draw meaningful conclusions
He's working for True the
that
Vote.
link the who to the when to the where is significant in the space.
Catherine, you started
Okay,
the
True-
group called True the Vote.
Yeah, so Catherine Engelbrecht, whatever her name is, she works for True the Vote. It's a legit organization. Like, she's testified before Congress and whatnot, I think. And then he's a private investigator.
okay,
That is
started in
contracted.
2009. Okay, well, he says he's worked for 30 years. I don't know if he's like working for like the fucking CIA, like monitoring elections around the world, or if he's like standing outside of his like, you know, local voting booth to see if the same guy goes in twice. I'm just curious, you know, what the extent of this hardcore electioneering is. But that's
Yeah,
okay. All right.
I did look into him. Greg Phillips or something. I couldn't find much information about him online either. I don't know if his.
Well, maybe that just means he's doing his job really well. You know,
True.
he wears those sunglasses every time he steps out of the warehouse. So
So true.
Vote in the year 2010. What was your mission or objective?
We just didn't have enough volunteers working at the polls in our local elections. So we began by training people to work in the polls. And then as we got further into it, we recognized, wow, some of the problems you see at the polls can be attributed to problems in the voter rolls. Well, what can we do about the voter rolls? And so it turned into something much bigger than we had anticipated.
True the Vote has the largest store of election intelligence for the 2020 elections in the world. No one has more data than we do.
So I started True the Vote to ensure that every American voter has an opportunity to participate in elections.
I think I became familiar with your work when you gave congressional testimony. Now, that was in the year 2014. In fact, I met you through Debbie, and I think what's interesting is that you not only have known Debbie for years, but you trained her. And
Absolutely. I was a bilingual poll watcher.
Oh, yes.
So my Spanish language came in very handy. I was a poll watcher in Rosenberg, and the poll judge was telling this couple that came in Spanish who to vote for. And of course, she didn't really realize that I knew Spanish, and so there we go.
And you busted them.
I busted them.
Yeah. So, Catherine, when you set up True the Vote, you set it up not so much, it's not a partisan organization. Is that because you saw shenanigans, problems with voting as coming out of both parties?
Oh, absolutely. Plus, we need parity of parties at the polls.
Well, you told me about this remarkable election in which you had vote harvesting and vote trafficking, but it was on behalf of a Republican candidate.
Exactly. In North Carolina, it was unique in that it actually overturned an election.
There's going to be a new election in the North Carolina congressional district engulfed in a scandal over voting fraud.
This all centers around allegations that an operative for Harris then hired a team of people to harvest absentee ballots, paying them between $2 and $3 a vote.
So you have an activist, the guy's name was
Damn,
McCrae
that's it?
Dowless, and he worked for the Bladen Improvement Association, which was a kind of an African-American get voters to the polls, but apparently they were doing all kinds of vote harvesting, and he learned the strategy. Then he broke with them, and he took his services to Mark Harris, a Republican, well, actually a pastor who was running.
Correct.
And Harris won. He pulled it off.
In 40 years of doing this, we've seen this over and over again. Sometimes the schemes are a little bit different. Sometimes it's people out banging on doors, gathering ballots. Sometimes the...
I think that's a pretty good thing for Dinesh to point out there, that there actually has been a election stolen by a Republican candidate that worked.
yeah, that's a really smart thing. It builds a lot of credibility so that when he goes in on the Democrats and people accuse him of being a partisan hack, he can go, no, look, we had a guy that attacked Republicans too. No way can we be partisan. That's a really good strategy.
Like,
I
okay,
agree.
would you not agree that there's way too much on the Democrat side in response to this? People saying there is just no way an election could be stolen. People who have just zero skepticism towards this.
Yeah, that's dumb as fuck. So I support people using the process as much as possible to figure out what's going on. So try your cases in federal courts, try your cases in local courts, present your evidences in front of a judge, not in fucking YouTube videos and not on camera in front of a TV news station, and then see what happens, see where you go. But well, I guess we'll get further into it.
Okay.
Ballots are sent here, gathered here, deposited there. But the trafficking itself is always the same basic pattern. There's a nonprofit involved somewhere in the middle. There are people that are either collecting those ballots on the one hand or depositing those ballots on the other and getting paid for it.
In no case is it acceptable to be paid for your ballot or to accept some form of remuneration for your ballot. And in no way, in no time, is that legal.
I noticed, Catherine, that in the immediate aftermath of the election, when there were a lot of accusations and charges flying around, all reflecting these suspicions that something went deeply wrong, charges of foreign intervention, charges of machines, you and your organization were kind of dead silent. I got the impression that you were looking for a different approach.
Given the outliers that were introduced in such a major way in 2020, namely the privately funded drop boxes, the mass mail out of ballots, the hypothesis was if you were going to cheat, how might one go about this? That would be provable, trackable, traceable.
You said there might be some, let's just call them bad actors, who are delivering ballots systematically and illicitly to these mail-in drop boxes, and there might be a way to track them and to bust them.
We didn't know. We decided we were going to let the data tell the tale, and we collected together a team of highly skilled contractors and put together a plan to see where the data would take us.
What, Greg, is geo-tracking?
So the idea is to collect these signals that are emitted from your phone. Your cell phone is delivering information to apps that are collecting that ping. So there are 4 key coordinates: the lat long, the elevation, and the time. And with that data, we can then build a pattern of life around you. So that phone's here right now. Well, where's it going to be at 5 o'clock? And where's it going to be tonight?
Well, here's my cell phone. My cell phone is off. Can I be geo-tracked even with the cell phone being off?
Possibly.
Depending on the apps
Depending
that are
on
on
the
phone.
apps, depending
That's
on
what marketing companies do all day, every day.
Now, this is the point. We were just at the
like that's
Apple
true, but
store
okay.
and at CVS, and
Wait, why
on
isn't
both
it true?
occasions, they knew where you.
If there's no power to the phone, I don't know how you would track it. Unless the phone has like some very proprietary thing. Like an app shouldn't have access to the ability to do that. I don't know if Cake or somebody's awake in my chat that can tell me if that's a thing, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll just write it down. It might be true, but.
I just set my chat to subscribers only.
Nice. Milk. Wait, so for how long?
Absolutely. Just 1 minute.
Oh.
Were evidently.
Absolutely.
And they were telling you about specials, and they were, so people have experience of this.
There's 300,000 or so apps that gather that data, and then they sell it to brokers.
Isn't it also true that this geo-tracking has now become a vital tool for the military, for the intelligence agencies, and for law enforcement?
Indeed, they're using it almost every day. I'll say that there's no question amongst anyone that I know in the community that many, if not all, of the people that were involved in the situation at the Capitol on January 6th were being tracked previous to January 6th because they already knew what their pattern of life was. They already knew who to look at.
Many of the people who stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th left digital footprints that law enforcement has used in making arrests.
You're saying they must have known about these people before because some of those guys were arrested 1 day, 3 days, 5 days after January 6th, and that's not enough time to do the geo-tracking analysis.
The very idea that you could go from the afternoon of January 6th to acquiring the data, tracking the data, unmask who actually owns that phone, which the government is required to do, and then get it to a grand jury, make an arrest in 72 hours?
Impossible.
It's not possible. They had to have been tracking the people in advance. But the fact of the matter is, these techniques are used every single day by law enforcement.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So Okay, hold on. Just because some people are saying this in chat, this could be true. It might be that when you turn your phone off, your phone's not actually off. It's just in an ultra low power state. That might be true. In
Yeah.
that case, there would be something sending. Now, I still don't believe most apps on modern phones. And you can always monitor. I'm pretty sure there are apps to monitor your phone's telemetry to see what signals are going in and out if you really want to know. But I don't think that like third-party apps would have access to that tracking data. First-party, like Google or Apple might. But next thing that he said, it wouldn't be possible to get that data quick enough. If you had subpoena power and you were like a federal entity, I feel like you could probably get this data and everything done in like 12 hours, right?
Okay,
like,
but
if I,
here's this is what I find interesting, because he's saying they were tracking them beforehand, and that semi adds up when you look at people like Baked Alaska just came out and said he received contact from the feds a day before January 6th. So they must have had a bunch of people on a list at the very least that they were watching and looking at that they thought were going to show up to this thing.
Well, there might have been some people that were tracked beforehand, and this has to be true, because I remember in the days prior to January 6th, a few arrests were made, right? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
There were a few arrests that were made, so some people were being tracked, but the implication of what this guy just said was that like literally like hundreds or thousands of people were being tracked beforehand, because it would have been possible to crunch this data in time. I'm pretty sure that if you can subpoena companies, it's pretty trivial to just like follow like a cell phone data around. Like, I'm pretty sure if you go into your iPhone or I know your Google phone, you can literally bring up a map of like, where have I been? And it'll show you like everything. Like, it's not hard, I don't think, to like compile this data if you can just subpoena the company for it. But regardless,
Right.
that's just that. But okay, good.
The intelligence community, the Department of Defense.
Was geo-tracking part of the way that the CIA was able to identify bin Laden?
It certainly played a role. It's even more sophisticated today than it was when bin Laden was disposed of. More and more apps are participating in this program, if you will.
The reliability of geo-tracking is not substantially different from the reliability of a fingerprint or the reliability.
Wait, maybe I'm just too young to remember this, but didn't they get bin Laden from like DNA vaccine tracking or something? What? No, they like faked a vaccination drive to get his family's DNA to find out. Am I crazy? Am I losing it? I don't remember how they, you know what? Do you? How did they get bin Laden? How did they find him?
I don't know, but now I'm looking it up because it sounds very interesting to me.
Because they just said that they used geo-tracking data, and I from my vague memories that I'm pulling out of my mind. Or maybe they just did that and that didn't lead to his arrest.
The CIA led the effort to
Not
surveil and gather
arrest.
intelligence on the compound. Oh no, bin Laden's come out. The CIA used photos to determine the identities of the inhabitants. No, identity of courier. Okay. Accounts on how bin Laden was located by U.S. intelligence officer. All right, the White House and CIA Director John Brennan stated that the process began with a fragment of information unearthed in 2002, resulting in years of investigation. The account states that by September 2010, these leads followed a courier to the Abbottabad compound, where the U.S. began intensive multi-platform surveillance. The U.S. was tipped off about bin Laden's location by a Pakistani intelligence officer who offered details where the Pakistani intelligence service held him in detention in exchange for a bounty.
Okay, wait, sorry. Someone in my chat just said I have brain rot for suggesting it had anything to do with vaccines and DNA. I'm sorry, but you can literally find Guardian articles that say the CIA organized fake vaccination drive to get his family's DNA. I'm not insane, all right?
Okay.
The CIA are up to all sort of funky stuff, all right?
Yeah, don't
Sorry,
hold on.
what
Don't
were you
worry,
saying?
my queen. I'm running defense for you as hard as I can. I'm trying, okay? The CIA rented a home in Abbottabad, from which a team staked out and observed the compound over a number of months. The CIA team used informants and other techniques, including a widely criticized fake polio vaccination program, to gather intelligence on the compound. So I'm guessing this is probably what you heard.
I'm not crazy, okay?
There you go.
Fuck
Don't
you,
worry, I got
chat.
you.
So wait, did it have
and then
anything to do with geo-tracking, though? Because our private investigator guy is saying they used it.
Well, it sounds
I don't
like
know,
a
it doesn't matter that
Pakistani intelligence officer tipped off the United States, and then once they had some idea, they started to do a whole bunch of shit. But I'm sure probably somebody was geo-tracked, but I don't know if it explicitly had to do with like cell phone stuff. My understanding is that like bin Laden and the Taliban, these are pretty technologically sophisticated people. They're not just dipshits in caves, so they probably wouldn't be walking around with cell phones, I would hope, right? Like even gangsters in Baltimore know not to do stuff like this. But who knows? I'm sure they use like 100 different things to I'm sure they use like 100 different things to track him. Oh, hold on. Somebody
Yeah,
else.
see, chat, this is why you shouldn't get vaccinated, so you don't get assassinated by the
Fuck up.
CIA.
Or
They're
just
gonna use
don't
it to
9/11
find you.
people, and you're probably not going to get assassinated either. The U.S. intelligence agency used a local doctor called Shaquille Afridi to set up a fake hepatitis B vaccination program to collect DNA samples from children at a compound where he was believed to be hiding under the plan. If DNA showed the children were bin Laden's, then it would pinpoint his location. There you go. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Also, I had somebody in my chat say, this guy is a cop. I think he's a SWAT cop from Seattle, I think. Destiny, we do e-warrants now. Getting a judge to sign an arrest/search warrant can take as little as 2 hours at midnight. And I'm just a city cop, not a federal investigator. So there's just that piece of information, assuming he's not lying. But okay, go.
Of DNA, if it identifies your phone. Now, I could have given my phone to Debbie, but the simple truth of it is my phone was there on this particular date, and there's absolutely no question about that, right?
correct.
Now, you decided
What if you're using,
to
like, a
purchase
VPN?
through these brokers that make this information available to companies.
Okay,
they
pause
make it
for 1
available
second.
All kinds of places to buy.
Yeah, so like if I use a VPN.
My understanding is that geolocation, and somebody in chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that geolocation is done off of your cell phone's radio antenna. I don't think that using a VPN would help you at all there. Because that would be like saying, like, if I connect to Wi-Fi, is that going to hide my, like my internet or whatever, or like my location? I don't think that's true, right? I think that the geolocation is going to be done off of your phone's GPS, which is based on your phone's like 4G, 5G, whatever antenna bullshit, right? That would be my understanding. I don't know how a VPN would help either, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe certain types of services, maybe it's different, but...
Yeah, I was going to say it would be really unfortunate, but I don't think VPNs do this. From my understanding, the VPNs I've used, it's like you choose a major city in an entire country. But like if you set your VPN status to capital January 6th or something.
Oh, yeah, but like, hold on. Okay, so there's different ways that this works. So, okay, I think there's 2 ways. I'm speaking a little bit of my ass here, but I think there's 2 ways I can tell where your phone is, okay? If I have access to like a proprietary program on your phone, so like your phone's OS, like your Android or your iOS or whatever, right? Like that phone is going to interface with your antenna that has a GPS, and that GPS is going to give me what that guy talked about earlier, latitude, longitude, something else in time. That's going to give me those coordinates, and that's based on GPS, even with no Wi-Fi signal at all.
So what you're saying is, oh, sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, there's a second way that I can figure out, quote unquote, where you are, and that's if you connect to something with an IP address. An IP address is oftentimes going to resolve to a server located somewhere that's going to be geographically proximal to you. So like, if you were to give me your IP right now and I were to search it up, it would probably give me a place that's like pretty close to the city that you're in. Not exact, and definitely not to the street or neighborhood, but it might, like, if somebody's living outside of, say, like Seattle or outside of like Miami, it might say like, oh, like this IP is from Fort Lauderdale, or this IP is from some whatever, like, yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is this geo-tracking stuff is pretty legit, right? Before we go into...
Only if you're working off of the GPS of the phone. Off of Wi-Fi or whatever, no. And then also the GPS, how concise it's going to be is going to vary based on the area. GPS is pretty concise, but I don't know if it's going to tell you like where you're standing on a block or not. It's going to depend, but it'll depend on the techniques they use too. We'll see.
Okay.
Data. Let's talk about the methodology. You identified data in certain places, and by and large you focused on the states where the election was decided. Tell us, what are the areas that you bought data for, and what were you looking for? And what's the time period?
October 1st through the election. In Georgia, we actually bought from October 1st through January 6th after the runoff. So we went in, we decided to do the Atlanta metro area because it picks up some rural areas, it picks up some urban areas, it picks up some suburban areas. 309 drop boxes in the area. And we thought, okay, well, this is a pretty good test. We, in essence, sort of fenced around those.
Geofencing, so-called.
Geofencing. And then we were able to make purchase of data of people that had been near those drop boxes, but also near the organizations. Across the country, we bought 10 trillion signals.
When they give you this data...
Wait, the organizations, they're talking NGOs, yeah?
I have no idea
Wait,
what they're talking about.
Let me
yeah, wait, replay this. Where are they getting this?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Make this information available to companies. They make it available all kinds of places to buy data. Let's talk about the methodology. You identified data in certain places, and by and large you focused on the states where the election was decided. Tell us, what are the areas that you bought data for, and what were you looking for? And what's the time period?
October 1st through the election. In Georgia, we actually bought from October 1st through January 6th after the runoff. So we went in, we decided to do the Atlanta metro area because it picks up some rural areas, it picks up some urban areas, it picks up some suburban areas. 309 drop boxes in the area. And we thought, okay, well, this is a pretty good test. We, in essence, sort of fenced around those.
Geofencing, so-called.
Geofencing. And then we were able to make purchase of data of people that had been near those drop boxes, but also near the organizations. Across.
What is the organizations talking about? Do you know?
No clue, but that's going to be pretty important. But we'll see what this sounds kind of...
Does anyone in the chat know? Okay, whatever.
Also, somebody super chatted in your chat, and somebody saying in my chat that apparently with Bluetooth, you can geolocate as well. I don't know anything about Bluetooth at all. So
okay, yeah. Destiny is wrong. Bluetooth beacons and visible Wi-Fi networks is what they use. Can track you down to which aisle you're at in a store. Interesting.
So someone in my chat, I don't trust any of your fucking chatters. Okay, someone in my chat said you can, but he agrees with your chatter. You can geolocate via Bluetooth on its own. If you have locational data of the consistent Bluetooth devices in that area, Destiny, and that sounds silly, but in a country like Afghanistan with slower tech adoption rates, they could literally plant devices, etc., and just mass collect all device associations that try and ping it. If you have Bluetooth on, it does this always. You don't need to search or do anything. So you can geolocate with that once you suspect the device belongs to somebody. So it sounds like he's saying that you could theoretically, if you know where people are going to be, you could plant a couple of like Bluetooth beacons in like a store, and then whenever phones are pinging off of you, I imagine Bluetooth would probably be pretty precise in terms of knowing exactly where somebody is. But the downside is that I think Bluetooth is going to be much shorter range than like cell phone bands or like VPNs even, but
yeah,
or like Wi-Fi things.
So this is one thing I said in my review is it would be nice, probably not just nice, but pretty necessary for them to release all of the information about the data they collected, how they collected it, what methods they used. And they're saying, True the Vote are saying they're going to do that. So it's just going to be a waiting game to see when they release that, how accurate the methodology they used is.
Or they might just go the O'Keefe route and never release the original data because they know it's, well, you know, but who knows? We'll see. Yeah. Okay.
As a country, we bought 10 trillion signals.
When they give you this data that you then have to go through, what does this data look like?
Well, it's a massive data transfer. We have more than a petabyte of data. You're talking about transacting...
A petabyte?
Hundreds of terabytes. So it's
the one bigger than terabyte, 1,000 terabytes.
You have 10 trillion signals. That's
Don't get excited there, Mr. Girl.
So what was the criterion that you set?
Final decision was they had to have been to 10 or more drop boxes, meaning unique visits inside of a space, and 5 or more visits to one or more of these organizations.
Those were the outliers.
So I think they mean by organizations, NGOs. Did they mention this earlier on and I missed it?
Wait, what is an NGO? Am I retarded?
Like a non-government organization or some sort of like leftist super PAC group.
Yeah,
I
okay,
feel
yeah.
like we both
NGOs. No, hold on. Okay, I know what an NGO is. I'm sorry. It sounds like they just bought this from like advertising corporations, which I wouldn't consider an NGO, right?
No, but okay. So when I was looking at analysis of the film afterwards, what they're suggesting is this geo-tracking data had people... What?
Are you spoiling? You're talking about the after-film analysis?
Well, of this part of the film, because it's hard to understand with the way they've structured it.
That's their fault. We're going to enjoy it and consume it as it was meant to be consumed, okay?
So you had to be to 10 or more drop boxes. So even if you went to like 7 drop boxes, they just don't include you in this. And you had to have also visited 5 or more of these NGOs. But I feel like, chat, did I miss this? Meal organizing organizations, but what are they? Maybe
yeah,
they're
there's like
later.
a million potential problems with this, but I'm assuming they're in the middle of explaining their methodology, so I'm not gonna critique everything on there. Yeah. Good faith, okay. Try to be
It was
good faith.
such an aberrant pattern.
So what you're saying, I mean, it seems to me there's no reason for someone to go to even 2 drop boxes, but you're saying that maybe there's a conceivable reason someone did that. Let's identify a large number of drop boxes and multiple trips, and that way we're going to catch not all the offenders, right, but the worst offenders.
The way we would describe it is we want to absolutely ensure that we don't have false positives, meaning including people that should not have been included. We're not in any way saying that
Sorry, someone just super chatted. They're talking about nonprofits that collected ballots somehow. Later, there is some speculation establishing probable cause to check, but not a proof that the ballots themselves are fraudulent. Okay, so they've had to be to 10 drop boxes and 5 organizations that collect ballots.
What is, wait, in the United States, are you allowed to collect ballots, or are you allowed to collect them but just not fill them out? I think you're allowed to collect them, right?
From my understanding,
one person
it
collect
varies
like 10 ballots and
state
drop
by
them off?
state. So, like, I was looking at this, and there are some states that will let you, you can give your ballot to a designated individual. There are some states where you can give it to a family member to drop off for you, and then there are some states where you have to do it yourself. But I think it's like 30 states that you can have someone drop it off for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
My biggest question that I hope consists through all of this is that, like, if these are just like drop boxes in ultra high traffic areas, are these just people that are just like walking around a bunch of places, and then we're gonna try to say they're like, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it'll all get answered. There's like a million questions I have, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ensure that we don't have false positives, meaning including people that should not have been included. We're not in any way saying that this is all there is. We're just saying that based on our criteria that we identified in Atlanta, 242 people that went to an average of 24 drop boxes in 8 organizations during a 2-week period.
242 mules. Now let's pause for a second. What is a mule?
When we started the project, we had to figure out how are we going to describe the individuals and the elements involved. And to us, it felt a lot like a cartel. It felt a lot like trafficking. It can be trafficking in drugs, trafficking in humans. In this instance, it's ballot trafficking. And so we began to use that vernacular. A mule is, by our definition, a person that is involved in picking up ballots from locations and running them to the drop boxes. So you have the collectors on the one hand, you have the stash houses, which are the nonprofits, and then you have the mules that are doing the drops.
What do we know about them? Who are they?
Well, first let me say, this is not grandma out walking her dog. Bad backgrounds, bad reputations. We've had, encounters with several that are, not terribly positive.
Violent guys.
Can be. They are interested in one.
What bothered you there?
Are we gonna get some? I need some concrete examples. This sounds silly. Like these vote droppers. These are some bad hombres. We ran into one guy, pulled a knife on us. Not grandma walking her dog. Okay, it was like fucking 2 mafia. Like what? This is. But go ahead. Whatever. It's just funny.
That's money.
Do we know, by the way, how much they get paid?
According to the people that have shared information with us.
Okay, wait. Okay, to be fair, is it really surprising to you that some Antifa freaks or far left activists in the streets would be violent, bad hombres?
It would surprise me that they were doing anything with votes because young people are retarded and have nothing to do with voting. They're too busy going to fucking BLM protests and trying to fucking.
Okay, they address this. They address this later on.
It's generally $10 a ballot. In the Georgia runoff, that number was higher.
2020, of course, was the year of the Antifa riots, the BLM riots, and it was all going on in the months and weeks leading up to the election.
Right.
And so in the data, you have geo-tracking data of the drop boxes, but you also have data on the rioters.
There were several different violent BLM Antifa riots in Atlanta. In one of them, we had 36 of our mules participate in these violent riots. There's an organization that tracks the device IDs across all violent protests around the world. We took a look at our 242 mules in Atlanta.
Wait, can I pause for a second?
Dozens and dozens.
So this is the bit that's interesting, right?
If you're tracking phones, would they use MAC addresses? Is that what that layer would be? Are you going to have a unique device ID? You would have to have a unique device ID. Never mind. I think you'd have to. Otherwise, the tracking data would be useless because you wouldn't be able to tell one device from another. You wouldn't just use cookies, right? I think you'd use hardware IDs. Somebody can tell me in chat if I'm right. I think you would. I'm just making sure. Okay,
yeah, so you can't see it on screen because your face is covering it up. But underneath the 242, they have 67 rioters identified. So they're saying the phone data from these 242, 67 of them also attended these Antifa riots and BLM riots.
Yeah, I'm curious if you can track an individual phone with that data, but I imagine you'd have to be because the device, the layer that you're on is going to show you a hardware ID. Oh, IMEI maybe for phones. Yeah, okay, sorry, good.
Cool.
Sure enough, dozens and dozens and dozens of our mules show up on the ACLID databases. So again, this is not grandma out walking her dog. These are, violent criminals sometimes.
There's not just a criminal element, but there is an ideological element, and that there's an overlap between people. I mean, you're not going to go to an Antifa riot and find it overpopulated with patriots or Christians or Republicans. These are people on generally the far left. And turns out that these are people who also help to make up the mule population.
I think that's also borne out in our target organizations themselves. They're not like Republican organizations.
These
right?
are left-wing
Right.
Democratic organizations, yeah. Let's zoom in here. So the mule is the delivery man.
mule is the delivery
or woman. And what you're saying is they have a starting point or multiple starting points, and then they have the end point. And the end point is the drop box.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
But you're saying that they get the ballots from somewhere, and then they go deposit them in
Right.
multiple drop boxes.
One of the questions that will come up in the work that we've done is, well, how do you know that this wasn't just somebody that's got a big family and they just deposited a bunch of ballots once? Or how do you know that this person didn't just work at a location that is near a drop box and so they're constantly going by a drop box? And the elements that are additive here, the going to the nonprofits, the ability to identify the pattern of approach to a drop box, and that it is going not past a drop box and on, but directly to a drop box and back to another point and then to another drop box. All of these things.
I mean, isn't the timing...
Sorry.
What?
Someone just super chatted saying, spoiler, once they discover BlackRock, Soros, and the Young Turks were involved, they came to the statistical and realistically the only logical conclusion being that Ethan Ralph ate approximately 7,348 ballots.
Holy shit. Is that how many they needed to flip Arizona or whatever?
Absolutely.
Why are you trying to start shit with Ethan Ralph, my boy? You got some shit you want to say. I can set you guys up for a debate. Is that what you need right now?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not sure he's capable of a debate. It seems like he just kind of...
He's capable.
Screams whore as loud as he can at the screen. But, yeah, interesting guy. I don't know. The guy just keeps turning people against him. I had nothing against this guy. I have no idea why he is so insistent on making the entire internet hate him.
Okay, listen. Ralph is a man that can only stand when his back is to the world, okay? You wouldn't understand how a man like that
True.
functions.
So
okay? He's
true.
too deep into it.
The tracking
Okay.
data is an advertising ID per person across devices using ultrasound or accounts to match across devices. Okay, I'm going to back up a bit here because I feel like I missed.
No, I don't think they're going to tell us anything of value. I think so. You've got, okay, so I shouldn't have said MAC ID because I think MAC addresses are spoofed by default on devices now. I think it even says it in your Android settings. But there's going to be an IMEI, which I think is a unique mobile identifier number that you can track devices on, which makes sense. But we don't know how they're doing any of this tracking because I don't think they're going to say specifically how they get any of the data. But that's okay. We'll keep going. My brain is open and I'm ready to be blown with ideas that I wasn't, or by your mom. I don't know. Go.
Know that this wasn't just somebody that's got a big family and they just deposited a bunch of ballots once? Or how do you know that this person didn't just work at a location that is near a drop box and so they're constantly going by a drop box? And the elements that are additive here, the going to the nonprofits, the ability to identify the pattern of approach to a drop box, and that it is going not past a drop box and on, but directly to a drop box and back to another point and then to another drop box. All of these things.
I mean, isn't the timing significant? If some guy's going to a Dropbox at 2 a.m. in the morning, presumably he's not like out for a walk.
Right.
So we're going to show you a visual, a pattern of life that someone can...
Okay, wait. So this is what I
Yeah.
wanted. And sorry, I'm going to be interrupting a lot because this is something
That's
I
fine.
always had a question with is like, okay, someone shows up and they put multiple ballots in. What if it's just family members? But they're saying that makes no sense as to why that individual would need to go to 10 boxes and why they would go back to these NGOs. So it can't just be excused or, thrown away as, oh, it's just someone dropping off ballots for their family.
Well, so here's the question. If there are places that collect ballots and then there's somebody that just goes to drop them off, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah, but
We
why
haven't
would they
proven it.
need to go to 10? Why would they need to go to 10 plus and then also to these NGOs they're alleging?
What? I don't know, maybe they
Assuming
work-
everything they're saying is correct.
Well, I would have to see like the specific routes, but the thing is, if we're talking Atlanta, what is that? Is Atlanta like is that like 10 million people? Atlanta's metropolitan population. These are like metro areas, 6.1 million people. Okay, it's like the population of fucking like 2x like Finland or Norway. Like, I'm sure you can find a couple people that take a ton of different routes or go to different like drop boxes. Like what we're finding right now is we're building a big story, but we don't have like any smoking gun yet. Like,
Okay.
it could just be like they collect ballots, they drive to different boxes depending on what they're doing or whatever. But
They're about to show on camera like someone's
Sure.
route, so you can.
okay,
you can
yeah,
look
let's
at
see
it.
it. Okay.
See and look at rather than just a whole spreadsheet of numbers, being able to look at it in this manner. What you see here on the screen is a single person on a single day in Atlanta, Georgia. They went to 28 drop boxes in
Come
5
on.
organizations in one day.
What are the orange dots?
Those are drop boxes.
So you
you
think that
think-
can just in a single day? This let's assume this is real. That can just be explained by maybe they just drove by there in exactly
Well,
that
I don't.
route.
Could this be like literally like a postal route or like a delivery driver? Like,
Yeah, but look
like,
at that.
this could be like
It's
an Uber Eats driver.
They're
Yeah.
going out of their way to get to these boxes, right? Like
Yeah, but
it's-
like, are boxes in high traffic areas we might drop off or pick up food? Like, these boxes could be outside. Like, let's say I would look at this map right now and I would overlay every restaurant in the area. Is there going to be like 5 restaurants near every single one of these high traffic area drop boxes? Like, I don't know.
I guess it would be. I wonder. It probably would be more interesting to look at this map and see highlights of where all the drop boxes are, plus this, right?
Yeah, that would be interesting, huh? Or grocery stores or restaurants or like how much foot traffic's through these areas. Because again, if I'm tracking 6 million people or 4 million phones, right? And this actually, it could like, and then here's another question because there are Bluetooth, I think there are SIMs inside cars, aren't there now? So that you can track cars. This might be a fucking company car, like in a literal mail truck or something. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this type of data is like, if I was trying to catch, like a girlfriend or boyfriend cheating, I could understand somebody being like, this is 100% for sure. But like, if you're sifting through data of millions of people, we got to have a little bit more than this.
Is there?
Like, I understand that. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a way that we can find the map of where all the drop box locations are in Atlanta and compare it to this?
Voting, Dropbox, locations, Atlanta. I mean, how many do you think there are?
Well, let's see. How many ballot?
How many drop boxes in Atlanta, Georgia?
Because obviously, if this is like all the drop boxes in the city, then there's obviously something going on here. But if they're actually only showing a very minimal amount, then yeah, that would be more worthwhile to compare.
If somebody in my chat can give me the answer, I'd be curious. 'Cause I'm not.
Dropbox map. Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Okay, here. I think I found a map. Where can I drop off my absentee ballots in Atlanta?
Oh, earlier they said they were monitoring 300 plus drop boxes.
Okay, so there's a decent amount of drop boxes in each of these districts, but I will say for the area that they're looking at here, let me just make sure this is all the correct neighborhoods. What the hell? Sorry.
Like, if I'm looking through a lot of data, Lauren, and I show you 300 drop boxes on a map, and then you give me the travel data for every single day between like a 2-week period of like every single like Uber Eats driver, I bet I can give you thousands of maps that look like this, right? And then we can restrict it more and more and more that we want. Like, well, they have to pass by these orgs, they have to be at this many, but I still could come up. I'm pretty sure with like, if I had access to that, well, not me, because I can't do that, but somebody that can do like complex data analysis can probably spit out like hundreds of different individuals that pass by this many drop boxes.
Okay, wait,
Not to say that- yeah, go ahead.
I've just sent you the map of them. In the region that he's in, he's hit on a pretty like specific amount of them. Like, they've got a lot of drop boxes, but for that one region, he's hit a lot of them.
Yeah, sure, but there's nothing like, it looks interesting. Like, maybe you can put a camera here, but we're not even close to being able to say that like this is.
Oh yeah, no, that like that's fair enough. like you'd have to obviously, rule out the fact, is he an Uber driver? Is he this? Is he that? Maybe what if it's the cell phone data of the guy who actually collects the ballots from the box?
Sure, or like a postal guy, or like an Uber Eats driver, or like, that's what I'm just curious.
Yeah. So there'd have to be a lot of independent
And
verification.
also, like, let's say there's a person that gets paid to like do this, like if that's a real job, right? Like if they get paid to do this and they're doing this for 8 hours, wouldn't it make sense that they pick up, some ballots, they drop them off, they pick up other ones, they drop them off. Wouldn't that be their expected route? Like we still, even if it was the case that these were mules, we haven't even proved any wrongdoing yet, right?
Sure. Okay. Sorry, I've got a few chats here. Since Destiny is so dense, that's you. The tracking data you buy is per person, not any Bluetooth device or single phone.
Well, hold on. How could you track data per person? What does that mean?
I don't know personally.
I feel like it would have to be tied to a SIM card or some sort of ID on a mobile device. How would you know if it's per person? If I gave Lauren my phone and she walked around, how the fuck are you going to know if it's her or me? Or if I give your mom my phone, how are people going to know that that's your mom and not me? Like, how would you even know that?
Someone in my chat is saying, I'm going to post this one more time. My niece and nephew live in Atlanta. My niece's friend was one of these mules. They did this. Why don't you report them to the police?
Hold on. Wait, report what? This doesn't sound illegal yet. If
you're a mule,
it's not an illegal thing to be a mule, is it? If you're getting paid to like pick up votes from areas and then drop them off, they said you get paid $10 a ballot. It sounded like that was a legal thing. Like you can be an approved mule, right?
No. But the way they're using the word mule in this documentary is they're suggesting they are like faked ballots.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's see if. Hold on. Somebody said almost all of Destiny's questions are addressed, but some are in the third act. Okay. Well.
Stacey Abrams' nightly buffet route debunked. Almost all of Destiny's questions are addressed, some in the third act, and then someone randomly put, "What is your favorite dinosaur?" Drew. I don't know, man. A shark.
You don't have a favorite dinosaur?
Is a shark a dinosaur?
No. Why are you... Okay, no, never mind. I take back everything I said about Lauren being smart. Let's go. Actually, I don't know. Are dinosaurs... There's no way that sharks are dinosaurs. Do you think that?
Yeah, the megalodon. It's a dinosaur. Fuck you. I'm a G. Every time you think I'm stupid, I'm actually right.
Yeah, well, the vaccine thing was true. Hold on. I have to ask you a serious question.
Everything I say is true.
I have to ask you a very serious question, okay? Do you think that there was a planet Earth 6,001 years ago? Or do you think that this planet is 6,000 years old? Just curious.
How am I supposed to know that? All I know is that we're on a giant turtle held up by elephants. That's all I know, okay?
When you said dinosaur, were you referring to the fictional creatures, or do you think that dinosaurs existed at one point in human history? Just checking.
Yeah, I wanted to be I dressed up as a paleontologist for career day when I was 5, okay? I love that stuff. Wait, do you not think there were dinosaurs? Have you seen the Christians debunking dinosaurs video?
Yeah, I debated Kant Hovind. What a mistake. Or one of those guys. But okay, I'm just checking.
I just don't understand why... I never understand a lot of that, like... Why would dinosaurs need to not exist for Christianity to be true? Do you know the answer to that? Like, why do they think that?
I think there are fundamentally two different ways you can approach Genesis. Well, there's like 3. One is that it's all allegorical and you're not supposed to read it literally. The second is that it is literal, but like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days, like one day isn't a human day. A day for God could have included all the dinosaurs going extinct and everything. And then the third way is a fundamentalist will read it literally 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, and they'll say God doesn't mention dinosaurs, so they couldn't have existed. I think that's like the 3 kind of ways to interpret
well, like
it.
They talk about lots of horrors covering the earth, Nephilim, all these things. I guess whatever. I've never understood that.
Exactly, whatever.
I've never
Once
understood that.
Atheism, you're good, dude. It's all a bunch of crazy shit. True, based, Lauren secular. Okay, go
Not
ahead.
what I was saying, but okay, bud. Yeah, sharks are dinosaurs. Anyways, everything I say that you think is crazy ends up being correct. Destiny, do you feel the main shift from 2016 to 2020 was Biden won more suburban women than Hillary did? What accounted for the main difference between the 2 elections?
Bro, it's been so long since I've dug through these numbers. I'm pretty sure, didn't Biden do better at bringing back some working class people that were lost, like working middle class people around the Rust Belt that got lost to Trump in the prior election? I thought it was and I think it was mainly white people. I thought that was the big thing that Biden had gotten for demographics, but I'd have to go back and check and dig through all that again.
Yeah, I don't know. Why do you hate magicians? I have no idea what you're talking about, mate. The earth is neither flat nor round, it's hollow, and in the center is an Amazon fulfillment center. So true, Jonathan. Okay,
Nice.
Continuing the movie.
And what is the blue tracks?
That is a smoothed out pattern of life so that we could take the sort of the movement of the individual cell phone
smoothed
signals,
out.
marry
Okay.
them together into something that's visual.
Yeah, wait.
so that
What
you
does
can see
smoothed out
movement.
mean?
That's a good question, isn't it? Have you ever heard of the phrase massaging the data?
I don't like that. I don't like this word. So
We'll see what happens.
Are they saying they got rid of other tracking data in this guy's day?
It sounds like they're trying to clean it up to get rid of like irregularities or things that might not make it look as clean as it is. But we'll see. Who knows? Let's keep watching.
Will we see? I hope we do.
On the individual. To get to some of these drop boxes, you had to be intentional. You had to get off the highway, you had to go on surface streets, you had to turn in somewhere in order to get to those drop boxes.
And the circles, I take it, reflect the nonprofit centers. Are that the places where the ballots originate?
The stash houses, where the ballots are collected and handed to the mules to take to the drop boxes.
Now let's move over to Arizona. How many mules in Arizona?
A little over 200.
A little over 200.
In Phoenix alone.
The reason I think this is all very significant is because these were very close states, right? What was the margin in Georgia?
10 or 11,000, I think, in the end.
In the end.
And Arizona also extremely close.
Yeah, very close.
Then you moved on to
Wisconsin, but our initial look was in Milwaukee. Gross numbers were a little down, but the average number of visits to the drop boxes was up. So instead of having only 24 unique visits, I think we averaged 28.
I mean,
in
maybe
Wisconsin.
I've heard people in Milwaukee are really hardworking, and maybe they just went overtime. And then let's go to Michigan.
We have more than 500 mules that we've identified in Michigan. Again, the number of boxes is lower.
Now, where in Michigan?
Detroit mainly, but we have people in Detroit that went to more than 100 drop boxes.
I mean, this is stunning because it's like, I cannot think of a rational.
So they're saying that you have to go to some like back roads and service streets and everything to get to these drop boxes, and you're having some people that went to over 100 of them. Unless that is like the guy picking up the ballots or like servicing these boxes, that is pretty sus.
Yeah, it can be a good starting point for questioning.
Cool.
But
Okay,
I mean,
glad we at least agree on that. All right.
I mean, it's always good to ask questions, Lauren. Except on Facebook, where I guess you'll get banned for it, apparently. But.
So true.
Kind of innocent reason for someone to do that. It just doesn't exist.
No.
So any reasonable person would say, you're onto something big here.
We should take a closer look.
Let's go to Pennsylvania, critical state. I think it was Pennsylvania that really gave Biden the election.
Philadelphia alone, we've identified more than 1,100 mules at rates well beyond anything we'd seen. Closer to 50 drop boxes each.
Each guy going to 50 drop boxes?
Each. 1,100. We saw people driving back and forth to New Jersey across the bridge.
You're saying the ballots may not even be from Philadelphia or from Pennsylvania.
We're saying somebody should
But you're
investigate.
saying that the origin point appears to be Jersey. Now, running 1,100 mules times 50, we are at 50,000 drop box visits by the mules alone in Philadelphia or greater Philadelphia area. Now, as you were assessing this data, you had, the two of you, and I'm not sure which of you came up with this, a genius idea in my view. It was your, of course, of course, who else? Well, to validate your data.
We chose to look at two murders that were ebbing on cold case status.
And in Atlanta, 8-year-old Secoria Turner was killed by rounds of gunfire shot into a car. It happened just outside this Wendy's parking lot.
Bought the data and the team got to work.
You could see visually that there were only a handful of unique devices that could possibly have pulled the trigger. So this is the area, and this is where the Wendy's was.
And are you saying that each green dot is the same guy, but moving through time?
Each color is one person. The shooting actually occurred right here in this parking lot. Sort of inside of this circle are really the only potentially legitimate shooters. Each of these devices has a unique device ID, and we turned the bulk of this information over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Now, I read, they've arrested 2 suspects.
They have.
2 suspected gang members will appear in court this morning on charges that include the shooting death of 8-year-old Secoria Turner.
And isn't it true that this tracking, these movements, this parallels exactly the work you're doing with the Mules?
Exactly.
It's one thing to have the scientific evidence, which is persuasive on its own merits, but do you have video evidence?
We do.
How much of it do you have?
Oh, shit. The video. Here it comes. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I can't wait for this.
Well, that's pretty convincing, though, if you look at
No, it's absolutely not
the
convincing.
shooting stuff. Like, okay, here's the only question I'd have is, did the feds make those arrests of those 2 people because of the data that this guy submitted, right? If it is because of that data, then it kind of shows however they're collecting the data is fairly precise. But we just don't know if it was because of
I
what they
imagine
submitted.
there's got to be other stuff. There's no way that they took 3 snapshots of cell phone geolocation data and convicted a dude of a shooting based on that. There's probably
No, but they made 2 arrests, they're saying, after that, not convictions.
Was that the only thing collected?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't know if that was the smoking gun that the feds used to find these people and identify them and make their arrests. If we did know that, and if the feds did in fact use the data submitted, then that would show that they have some confidence in the ability of their tracking.
Well, sure. No one is doubting the confidence and the ability of the tracking, right?
Yeah.
What we're wondering is what was the action of what was going on. If I can track and show that you had a phone in an area at 8:34 p.m. and there was a lethal shooting at 8:34 p.m., well, this is an issue, right? But if you show me that you were at a ballot box at 8:55 and then another ballot box that there's nothing going on yet, right? That's the difference.
No,
right?
I agree. They're just building suspicion right now, saying it's weird and suspicious that we have all of these hundreds of people in these key states in some of the most key areas, like,
Sure, that's why I want to see the video stuff. Because Uber and Lyft, for instance, were giving discounts to drive people to polling places. So these literally could have all been Uber and Lyft.
Right.
But maybe not. Let's
True.
see. We're gonna find out. Okay. Oh boy.
That's a very interesting point.
Okay, let's see.
Sorry, we got.
These videos. I can't wait.
A few super chats beforehand. Gotta get that dollar bills, right?
True.
They already said
hold on,
that.
Real quick, if I recognize you from my chat and you're super chatting, Lauren, I'm gonna fucking ban you. You
Listen,
losers.
guys.
Save your money for me.
We get 1K tonight. Yordle cosplay. All right. 1K. No.
Unironically, I'm trying to build shit. Go. Read your shit.
They already said that a Dropbox visit was going to the box, then back to the same spot, which would eliminate many passerbys. Okay, so yeah, we'd have to see that. So they're saying that their visit, they have to go to the box, then go back to one of these NGOs, then go back to a box. So it couldn't just be random driving by these hotspot areas.
Unless it's a delivery driver or taxi or anything, but
that is constantly delivering to NGOs repeatedly. And picking up all of his food from NGOs?
I don't know. Is an NGO in a giant fucking building that has 7,000 other offices in it where people are ordering food? I don't know, Lauren. That's why we're getting to the videos. Okay. We're going to get some real compelling evidence. Okay?
Let's watch the videos.
Let's go.
4 million minutes of surveillance video around the country.
Official surveillance video of these mail-in drop boxes.
Yes.
How do you get it?
You can file for open records requests. Any citizen can do this. It was a very difficult series of steps that had to be followed to procure the actual surveillance video.
Do you have video in Georgia?
We do.
Is it video from the presidential election, the runoff election, or both?
Both.
Do you have video from other states?
Some video from Arizona. We have recently learned video was specifically turned off on particular drop boxes.
In which state?
Arizona. Wisconsin, it turns out,
What
even
is
though
funny?
the rules required them.
I'm sorry. It's you know what? I will say it. It's just as much evidence as anything else. Okay. I always like the idea that our opponents are competently are simultaneously unimaginably competent, but then unimaginably incompetent at the same time. So they've planned in advance to turn off third-party surveillance cameras of these ballot boxes precisely when they're being dropped off. But they also all had cell phones on them going from every single location. That's just funny to me. But, you know, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah,
We're waiting for the video
that's
footage. I'm
interesting.
ready, okay?
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
see it.
Do you have video?
Did they do the video?
No, they did not.
There should be video on every Dropbox.
Indeed.
Given today's kind of cost of technology, it would not have been that hard to do it. And you sent me a screenshot, Catherine, where you were requesting video, and I believe it was the state of Georgia saying this video
I do not have an explanation I can provide other than they do not exist.
Wow.
does not exist, and we can't tell you why it doesn't exist.
Right. That was
Is it like, wait,
County.
pause for a second.
We have
Is it like, are there state election laws that say that you have to have all of these boxes under video surveillance 24/7? Is that like a law?
I don't know. It seems like it should be, even if it isn't, right? Like, that would make sense to make sure people aren't going and taking ballots out of them, tampering with them. That seems really reasonable.
Seems like a
But
good
let's,
question to ask,
yeah.
but
Okay. Wait, let me check. How are ballot drop boxes protected from tampering? People in the chat, I'm getting no's and yeses back and forth. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Oh, welcome to streaming.
So I'm just reading this article on it.
Wait, can you hold on? I'm curious. Do you actually believe this? Somebody tells me that this clip, or whatever. I don't know if you actually said this before.
What clip? I can't hear it. What did you just send me?
No, it's a thing. I don't know if is this actually you talking on stream or.
Uh-oh. Here, I'll open it on my phone so I can. Should I play this out loud or?
Open it on your stream.
Open it on my stream. I don't know about that.
Okay, just go to the. Just go to the next thing.
I love Israel. I love Israel. Gone. Gone. Oh, I love Israel.
You took too long. You ruined my meme. I don't care anymore. Go to the next thing. Okay. It's just allegations in chat. Are you ready? Can we keep watching? How are we not even halfway through this video yet? I want to see the video footage.
Happening?
I don't know what it is. I just want to see the video
I'm
footage.
trying to find out whether you have to have cameras on drop boxes, because that's a pretty serious allegation if they're saying a ton of these boxes were just shut off out of nowhere, and if it's like a legal requirement to have them on, that's pretty serious. So I'm trying to figure that out, okay? But you're sending me anime cat boys saying they love Israel and completely derailing this very important conversation about American democracy. And I'm not even American, I'm Canadian, and I'm taking this more seriously than you, okay?
All right, go ahead.
I need more drinks.
Well, no, you've already drank like 12 things. Can you find it?
I'm trying. Shut up.
Okay. If it's this hard to find, it sounds like it's probably not a law. Okay. I think I can agree with that.
Okay. Bolted to the ground under camera surveillance. They're emptied twice a day, and they're also supposed to be under camera surveillance, it seems like. It doesn't say here that it's a law. It's just saying this Chicago Tribune article is saying that. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll look into it more after. All right. I'm going to be right back, so you're in charge of the stream for a minute. Don't say anything stupid.
Correspondence like that from a lot of states. In the absence of video, and that geospatial data is key to decoding, what the greater scheme was. But in the case of what we're going to show you now, what kicks it up a notch is that we have the geospatial data to support the video.
Let's talk about some of the videos.
So we're going to show you a couple different ones. This particular individual we have in a number of different locations at a number of different times. He's actually a mule.
This is the official surveillance video of Georgia.
Absolutely.
And so as the person pulls up, they don't even bother parking. Of course, in the middle of the night, so why would they? He gets out, approaches the box. When people walk up with intention to cheat, they look around, they basically walk fairly quickly, they try to stuff them in, they try to get out of there. In this case, he drops a few on the ground, pick them up, stuff them into the box. Then he hustles back and hustles out of there. So this is what it looks like. It doesn't necessarily look like, hundreds of ballots being stuffed in.
You don't need a whole lot of fraud, you just need a little in the right places over time.
Is there a way to estimate or even roughly how many ballots are being tossed into a box at a given time?
It might be 3 or 5 or 6 or 10 or something like that.
The idea is to stay under the radar. And as Greg said, the number is, 3, 5, 10 ballots. But then they're not done for the day either. They're going place to place to place, day upon day upon day. And so that will not show up in your chain of custody documents, your tracking documents that would identify a big blip.
I mean, they're not going up and dumping in, buckets full of ballots. On the other hand, we've seen
Did I miss anything important?
We watched a black guy walk up to a ballot box. He looked around suspiciously a couple times, and then he put in so many, he dropped a few on the ground. Then he picked them up, and then he ran back to his car.
Did they say which state it was in?
Probably one of the important ones, Georgia.
Because you're not allowed to do that for some states, right? So that actually could be hard evidence of fraud.
Yeah,
or not fraud, not necessarily ballot fraud, but illegal, ballot handling.
Is it?
Depending on the state. Yeah. Here, let's quickly check which
see.
state it is. Yeah.
which is the box. People walk up with intention to cheat. They look around, they basically walk fairly quickly. They try to stuff them in, they try to get out of there.
Okay, everyone in the
case, he
chat
drops
is
a few on
saying
the ground.
Georgia, felony. Is it illegal in Georgia? Is it illegal to submit someone else's ballot in Georgia? Chat, is it illegal? I don't want to look this up. Oh, fuck you, chat. It's all just saying yes.
Just make
or
them
no.
link it. If they, I'm waiting for my chat to link something. So.
Okay, 24 states and DC permitted someone chosen by the voter to return mail ballots on their behalf. 12 states specified who may return the ballot: household members, caregivers, and/or family. 1 state explicitly allowed only the voter to return their ballot. 13 states did not specify. So let's see. Let me. Sorry. Okay, Georgia. Who may return? Specific people may return
I saw
ballots
a
in
PolitiFact
Georgia.
thing. The exception allows various relatives, including children, grandchildren, and spouses, to return a ballot on behalf of their family members.
Okay, so yeah, in Georgia, it's only specific people. So household members, caregivers, and family. So like, how many ballots are we talking in this guy's hand?
Of Georgia.
Absolutely.
And so as the person pulls up, they don't even bother parking. Of course, in the middle of the night, so why would they? He gets out, approaches the box. When people walk up with intention to cheat, they
Looks like he's
around,
putting...
they basically walk fairly quickly.
Okay, hold on.
Stuff
We're
them in,
doing
they try to
the
get out of
analysis
there.
now.
Looks like he's
It's at
putting
least
like
2
3 or
because he
4.
put one in and he dropped the other, so it's at least
In
2.
this case, he
right?
drops a few on the ground, pick them up, stuff them into the box.
Actually, he didn't drop a few. He dropped 1.
Okay.
All right. Fact check.
True. Fact nice.
And he hustles back and hustles out of there. So this is what it looks like. It doesn't necessarily look like, hundreds of ballots being stuffed in.
You don't need a whole lot of fraud, you just need a little in the right places over time.
Is there a way to estimate or even roughly how many ballots are being tossed into a box?
Are we going to
at a
see
given
this
time?
guy in another
It might be
video
3
too?
or
Oh
5
boy.
or 6 or 10.
Okay, wait, this is what I don't... Sorry. I know we're going to get there,
Yeah, you
but
should be.
this is what I don't understand. Later on, they have way better videos of people like stuffing like 15 ballots in, but they start with a guy who puts 2 in as their
That's 'cause
like
they're,
big
they're
introduction.
edging you, okay? They're edging you. They're getting it teased
Right.
up there so we get the big blow at the end, okay? It's going to be awesome.
Or something like that.
The idea is to stay under the radar. And as Greg said, the number is, 3, 5, 10 ballots, but then they're not done for the day either. They're going place to place to place, day upon day upon day. And so that will not show up in your chain of custody documents, your tracking documents that would identify a big blip.
I mean, they're not going up and dumping in, buckets full of ballots. On the other hand, we've seen circumstances where it appears that buckets full of ballots showed up. There's one box in Gwinnett County that had a chain of custody document with 1,962 ballots noted on this. And first of all, that's roughly 10 times what we normally see. We sorted through the geodata, found a few hundred people. Okay, well, that's pretty odd. We have video of all of this. And guess what it shows? 271 people approached that ballot drop box during that 25-hour period. 271. 1,962 ballots were deposited.
Wow. Holy shit.
That's weird. That's freaking weird.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. What? Like, how do you explain that? Seriously.
I have no idea. Fine, get a subpoena and follow one around. Report it to the police and follow one around. I don't know. There could be 50 million different reasons why. I have no idea.
All right. Yeah. So 200.
Also, wait, hold on.
Everyone's submitting 7 ballots for their family. Most people don't even talk to that many of their family members.
First of all, these are minorities, okay, that actually talk to their family, not white people that lock themselves in their fucking rooms and never talk to their family members ever, okay, and stay online all day.
Kind
like
of
schizos,
true.
number one. Number two, so this was 261 people that approached the ballot box on camera or with cell phones? Like, does this include people that might have just gone without phones? And like, also, was this
who doesn't have a phone?
Was this over the course of the entire like Dropbox being up to collect votes? Or was this over just one day, or like I don't know? And by the way, I'm not saying. By the way, to be clear, I'm not saying that 100%. This is like there's no shot. It could be, but I'm saying like all of this is like further cause for investigation. But hopefully, as we go on in the video, they're gonna give some real smoking gun stuff. Okay.
I respect that. It's cause for investigation. Also, I want to address someone in the chat. They're like, Lauren, shut up and just let the video play. We are like on thin freaking ice with this being fair use. If I don't pause and give commentary, my channel is gone, all right? So you got to relax. This is how if you want to watch it, go to Locals, Dinesh D'Souza's website. It's on his Twitter. You can go buy it. It's $30. I paid $30 for this, okay? All right, for all of you so that we could do this. So we got to have fair use. Okay, a few super chats. These super chats are going to pay for my movie purchase. Have they looked at any state Trump won, or are they only looking at data where Donald lost?
We haven't even gotten into that. I've written down a lot of data related questions like that. But so also another thing, so in order for this analysis to be good, one, I'm curious if you could run this analysis in every single city, or at least every single major metropolitan area, to see if you see these same things popping up in every city, or if they're only the ones that Democrats won. Because I wonder if they're ones that had healthy margins of Democrats or Republicans that still show the same like data, which would make this more suspect. Because let's say we found like 5,000 mules in California. Would people really be doing that? Would they be paying people to run these mules in California where you know you're going to win? Or in like very heavily red states, would you pay mules in Texas or Florida to run when you know you're probably winning these states? And then the second question would be like, where did this data come from? That's so important, because when you say things like you're smoothing out the data or whatever, and when you've got like 200, 300 of these ballot boxes, like we need more questions. But that's like other like data, but they might go into it. I don't want to ask like a million questions before.
Yeah, so like I said, that was my biggest question watching this too, is we have to independently verify what they're talking about, because right now we're just taking their word for it. But they have said they are going to release it. So another Pablo says, I'm telling you, the extended version of this movie shows, in fact, Ethan Ralph mukbanging thousands of ballots. The smoking gun. Okay, got him. If the Mules, this is Sea Rider, if the Mules put the number of ballots in the drop boxes, they're saying, wouldn't the voter turnout appear to be record highs? Well, didn't they have record high voting in this?
I don't know if it was
election?
record high voting for turned in ballots. It might have been record high once you included the mail-ins, but
right. If not more votes than the number of people who vote or live in the state, ? They go over the exact numbers of how many illegal votes they think happened at the end. So we'll get there.
Oof,
bam, bam.
The estimations.
Yeah, you're going to get so triggered. I can already see it. So triggered when you see them adding up the numbers. Okay, Destiny is my favorite leftoid. Don't compliment him. I'm not reading any more of those chats, Corey.
Good one.
Here are election officials pulling out of that drop box 2 full duffel bags containing over 1,900 ballots.
Let's look at another one.
Yeah, let's take a look at...
Interesting thing about this person is the device seems to live in South Carolina. So this person isn't even from Georgia. She was here during both election cycles, but is not a resident of the state.
But as she approaches the drop box, she never looks at the trash can, right?
She's looking the other way.
But the other thing she has is she has gloves on. What one of our analysts noticed was these surgical gloves only appeared from December 23rd forward in the runoff. So we didn't see a lot of them previous to December 23rd, and we couldn't figure out why. And then it just dawned on us, well, on December 22nd, there was an indictment handed down in Arizona for people that had stuffed ballots, and the way the FBI nailed them was fingerprints. And then lo and behold, the next day and days forward.
So this video is now from the Georgia runoffs. This is January of 21.
This particular one is at approximately 1 o'clock in the morning on January the 5th.
Stuffs her ballots in there. It's like a small stackish, maybe 3, maybe 4.
I bet she's gonna take her gloves off before even knowing the trash can is there. Yeah.
And then puts them in the trash can that she never looked at.
Oh my God. She didn't even know
Sus.
she knew it
Pretty
was there.
sus.
That's
And so we have
wild.
her on a number
Holy
of
shit.
locations.
She's an out-of-state mule, and then this is in no way the only drop box that she attended.
That's right.
No, she's goes to dozens and dozens over the course of these 2 elections.
Who's next?
What you're gonna see is he approaches the drop box on his bike. He also has a backpack on. Pull the ballots
Gloves
out
on.
of his backpack.
Taking his time.
Taking his time, digging around, looking for some
You
ballots.
gotta find all the ballots.
Finally gets that, pulls them out. Okay, now I'm set. And he'll put them in. But you also
on.
see him get sort of frustrated as he starts to leave, because guess what? At this point, they had started requiring the mules, apparently, to take pictures of the stuffing of the ballots. It appears that that's how they get paid. So they take a picture, stuff it in, they take a picture, not a...
Okay, wait, did they mention how they... how did they get this information that they needed to take pictures?
That's an anonymous source. Also, how are you publicly offering people $10? How did nobody... How was this not... How did nobody... Did anybody report this ever? That there's like these ads for $10 to illegally harvest votes? Or how do they... I'm just curious.
Yeah, maybe they'll explain it later. Okay.
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 selfie, but a picture of the actual ballot going in. But this guy gets frustrated, so he actually has to park his bike, get off.
So if you were there just casting your own ballot, what reason in the world would you have to come back and take a picture of the box?
And he kneels down.
Looking around.
Take some pictures.
Okay, the next one.
Yeah, so let me show you Dog Guy.
Wait, is it
So-
possible? No, this is a crazy wild guess. But maybe he just wants to do like the I voted thing and post it on Instagram?
They talk about that. They say
Okay.
when they repeatedly get these people taking pictures of them stuffing the ballots in, but none of them are taking pictures like selfies or, you know, none of them are selfies. They're all just their hand going into the ballot box, which if you're doing an I voted, it does seem like you do a selfie. That's the thing to do now. Two
Not
comments.
depositing. I mean, how many videos are we talking of like 20,000 people going to a box? Like, did 5 of them take that? Like, but who knows? We'll see. Maybe. You know.
This, that, and the other says, you rock. Thank you, mate. Then,
Sim. Sorry, I can't say that. Just kidding. Sorry.
yeah, what happened to your whole anti-misogyny thing?
I'm not
bucko?
on my train talking about. Yeah, okay.
Rhinox says, Lauren, obviously that girl's hands were cold. Yeah, for sure. Cold hands. Ben Anthony says, Joe underperformed Hillary in every major metro area except the 4 that mysteriously shut down count the same time of election night. Philly, Detroit, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. 4 cities in 4 states that won it. What do you have to say to that?
I can't, there's nothing I can even say. Like, all of these mysterious shutdowns, all of the mysterious extra boxes, all of these things were brought before federal judge after federal judge after federal judge. And when people have to go in front of a judge, present all of the information, and they're not allowed to lie, mysteriously, all of these federal judges, many of which were Trump appointees, said that the cases were bullshit. Like, if you want to talk about what people say on YouTube or what people say, I'll give the same thing that I think Rosenthal said to, was it Jim Jeffrey or whatever? When he was like, listen, because when people will be under oath in Congress, under congressional testimony, and some like lawmaker will have the gall to say, well, hey, these people in this news said this and that and that. What do you have to say about that? And you know what he says? He said, okay, well, hey, bring them up here, put them under oath, and then ask them questions, right? I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to random allegations made in YouTube videos. Like, show me the federal cases that went through, or explain to me why all these Republican judges shot down the vote stealing cases. None of them got anywhere. But I mean, that's
okay, Prager, settle down there.
Okay, well,
dog guy, middle of the day. This is actually at a polling place. So the people in line are waiting to go in and vote early. They're doing it the right way. Okay, now you've got some other people going to walk up.
How did they blur the dog?
But this guy, this next guy,
who knows, dude?
He's watching the whole thing. The guy looks up, talks to him.
Got the ballots under his arm already. Now he's got the rest that he pulled out of the bag.
And he's going to get his camera ready to take the pictures as he puts them in there. If you consider the brazenness of this, right? This is the middle of the day. There's people sitting there watching you cheat. People that are doing it the right way.
Pause for a second.
For them to know what to do. Except
Okay, so it's a little weird that before they were like, yeah, these people are out at 2 a.m., implying that they're being so sneaky because they know they're doing something wrong. But now they're saying they're taking a picture of it. They're brazenly breaking the rules. Well, I mean, which is it? Are they brazenly breaking the rules, or are they sneaking around at 2 a.m. to do it? Could it literally not just be like a, hey, look, I voted thing? You know, maybe not, but, well, you know, we'll see.
We don't know. I think I'd agree with you. We're having a lot of people that are saying we just had Corey say, Destiny admits that there should be an investigation. That's all we need, since they won't do a proper investigation. So a lot
they
of people
have done
are
investigations. They've done the court cases. They didn't go anywhere.
Well, no, into this new information that True the Vote are bringing forward. Do you not agree they should submit it and have it investigated?
Yeah, I would.
There
I
you
hope
go.
they have. I hope they've done that. Yeah. I
go.
think everybody should have. I even supported Trump and all the crazy. Was it the senators or the people in the House? No, or it might have been the electors. I don't remember if it was the electors or the senators that wanted to do their "we certify the voter" blah blah blah. And in Congress, they took an extra fucking 12 hours to count. You know, and if you want to do that shit, whatever the process is, pound the process, go for it. If you want to do it, that's fine.
Great. Yeah. All right. We got some disgruntled chatters from your community. Thanks for reading donations, Lauren. Destiny usually just skips all his donations. Something about L spam, whatever that means.
Okay.
Skipping your chatters, huh?
Horrible.
The judges were afraid to try the cases because they knew rioters would be at their houses like they are now. Is what one super chat from Brian says. Brutally honest. Canuck says, Destiny, none of the evidence was ever
Wait. What did that last guy say? They didn't want to charge anybody because protesters would show up at their house?
Yeah, he's saying judges were afraid to try the cases because they knew rioters would be at their house like they are now. There are rioters at...
No, stop. When that shit happens...
Are there not rioters at Supreme Court judges' homes right now?
Yeah, and when it happens, people get extremely vocal about it. Like, if somebody's... we just read an article the other day about a state lawmaker in Maryland who was like, I'm never working with the ACLU again because they protested outside of my house. When people do shit like that, judges and lawmakers take that shit really seriously. There's no way that a federal judge... These are some of the proudest motherfuckers in the country are going to say shit like, oh, I didn't want to try it because I was scared. If that was some shit, they'd be vocal about it. And they'd still be trying the cases. Like, they're federal judges. These are big boys, okay? But that's okay. We got a lot of fun stories that we're telling.
Brutally honest Canuck. Destiny, none of the evidence was ever put in front of a judge. The judges shut them down for no standing. And then another guy, Ben, says, I'm a lawyer. The courts declined to hear the evidence. Judicial cowardice is not equivalent to no evidence. Riots and separation of powers is why they stayed out of it.
Oh, shut. So firstly, for the first guy that said it, what was the first one you just read 2 messages ago?
He said none of the evidence was ever put in front of a judge.
Okay, he's lying. There were some cases were thrown out because, like, the state of Texas was trying to sue other states for their voting processes. Those cases were shut down because obviously they have no fucking standing. Why would one state get to elect to tell another state or sue another state over their voting procedures? Number one. Number two, the guy said that they didn't try any of these cases. They didn't go through any federal cases. Just because the Supreme Court doesn't hear a case doesn't mean it wasn't tried. Plenty of these were tried in federal courts. If you want to have like a legal argument about it, I've got plenty of lawyers you can argue against. Shoot me an email and you can come and try to argue against it in my chat. But like, I've seen every type of argument against against this gets shot down a million different fucking ways. Like this idea that, oh, none of them were tested in court, none of them were, they were. These court cases went through. That's why even people like Giuliani and shit shut the fuck up about it. It's like, oh, well, we tried it and we fucking failed miserably. Like, but if you want to pretend that none of them were tried or that one secret piece of evidence just didn't make it, then file another fucking case if you have new evidence. Go for it. Maybe do that instead of making these wonderful documentaries that we get to watch with our friends and family. Okay, sorry.
We have another super chat saying the same thing. Apparently this hasn't been addressed to the level it needs to be, because Josh is saying most of the cases were dismissed because of laches or standing reasons. Literally not a single case at the federal level was ever allowed to present evidence. They were all dismissed on technicalities. A lot of people upset over this one. Okay, those of you that have more understanding of the legal nuances of this, because I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on American law and why these things were dismissed. What's the email? Go on Destiny's show. He'll have anyone on to talk to him. What's your email? For
sure, it's my name, Stephen Bunnell @gmail.com.
All right.
Yeah, so shoot me an email, especially if you're a lawyer or whatever, and then you can talk. I've got a whole Rolodex of them in my stream now if you want to go and argue with somebody.
I would love to see that from some of you in the chat that know more about this than me. All right.
Sounds good. Pisco, get ready. Okay, go ahead.
Observe and maybe say, what's going on here? What did I just see?
They wonder, what does this all even mean if this is happening in broad daylight and nobody's doing anything to stop it?
And so these are the kind of things. 4 million
Actually,
minutes.
no. One guy. I want to hear this. Name one case that was heard. Stephen, one.
I don't remember the names of the cases. I would have
to
go back and
was there
Google
a single
them.
one that was heard?
Giuliani cases, federal court. If you want to, I don't have the names of these offhand.
So you can't name one case that was heard, is what I'm getting.
Can you name any of the cases that were tried?
No.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember the names of the fucking cases. Were Giuliani's cases, none of these cases were heard in front of a federal court? Did all of these get thrown out on technicalities?
Apparently, according to people in the chat, there's a lot of people very pressed.
Here's what happened when Giuliani made his first appearance in federal court. If anybody in chat wants to link any of the fucking tried cases, go for it. But I don't have any of these offhand. This election was decades ago, okay?
So none of them were heard. Okay, moving on.
Also, it also depends, too, on what you mean by, like, not heard. Because one of the issues that I heard showing up for some of these, and this might have been on some of the Giuliani ones, that when Giuliani was talking in front of a newscast, he talked about how he had, like, thousands of affidavits and people that were willing to testify, blah, 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 blah. It might be the fact that when Giuliani went to court and was like, and they were like, okay, cool, well, where's your evidence? And Giuliani was like, well, you know, we've got, like, a little bit of hearsay. Nobody's willing to testify. In that case, they're like, okay, well, we can't hear this case. If that's the fact of the matter, then it's not a big deal that that case wasn't heard. It was literally the fact that they had nobody willing to testify. So of course they're not going to hear that case. But that's not the fault of the judge for not hearing the case. That's the fault of them for not having any fucking evidence. But in terms of which case were tried, I would have to look it up. But like, if you think there was a case thrown out for like an illegitimate reason, I know that there was the federal cases, or before the Supreme Court, where the state of Texas, I think, was trying to sue other states for their electoral procedures, and the Supreme Court said you don't have standing here, obviously, because one state can't dictate the electoral process or the voting process of another state. That makes sense to me. But other cases that were quote unquote thrown out for lack of evidence or lack of people willing to testify, that's not a bad throw out if it did happen. But
we've got Roger Stone in the chat who is saying other states have standing to sue non-conforming states because it is a federal election, you know, one of those things that involves the entire union.
There are plenty of things that involve federally the entire union. That doesn't mean that a state has standing there. If you can show me a legal precedent where a state has sued another state, hold on, you're so wrong. Okay, oh shit, hold on, hold on, I'm not gonna get triggered. Okay.
People in my chat, holy shit, you talk faster than Ben Shapiro.
Your voting process, my understanding of it, and I could be wrong, okay? My understanding of it is that your voting process is decided by your state legislature. There are not federal mandates for how you're supposed to run your election. That is literally up to the actual fucking states themselves. I could be wrong, but I think a state could literally let a fucking illegal immigrant vote in a federal election. I think if they wanted to. It's up to a state to determine how they want to run their election.
That doesn't sound great.
Save for some like protected classes where there's going to be Supreme Court challenges to like certain laws, like saying like no black people are allowed to vote or something, right? I think a state is allowed to, I don't know if they can actually let illegals vote, but I know the state has a lot of power for how they want to administer their elections, even for the federal fucking elections. That's on the state to do it. Other states can't tell other states how to do it. But
all right, are we done soying out?
Yeah,
I think you should talk to Robert Barnes. A few people in the chat mentioned him. Have you watched his show with why can't I remember his name? Anyways, he does a show called Sidebar with Viva Frey. You should talk to Robert Barnes. He'd have a much better knowledge on the subject than me. But anyways, back to the movie.
This was an organized effort to subvert a free and fair election. This is organized crime. You can't look at this data in its aggregate and believe anything otherwise. That's especially true when you consider that in places like Georgia, it was only decided by 10,000, 12,000 votes. And you look at 5,000 visits just from our mules, it's not a leap to say, yes, this would have made a difference.
Adding these numbers up, we have 2,000 plus mules based upon not searching these whole states. And
Right.
remember, we're only talking about a small number of states. We're not talking about the whole country.
We're not even talking about whole states.
We're not even talking about whole
Right,
states.
that's right.
And we're also talking about a gross undercount of the actual number of mules because you set a high bar. They had to go to 10 drop boxes. So if there's a mule who went to 7 drop boxes,
Wait, hold on
you
one
wouldn't
second.
You wouldn't catch that guy.
And they had to go.
Yep.
Okay, here, if you want, somebody linked me this. This is the summary of post-election lawsuits for the amount of suits that were tried, I guess. So 55 of these total, there were 55 of these suits. 14 were dropped, 33 were dismissed, 2 have an ongoing trial, and 6 of them were ruled against. So there, they can go and read through
Where are
those if they want.
the 2 ongoing?
I fucking linked you, okay?
Fine.
The 2 ongoing ones are the Michigan Welfare Rights Org et al. Versus Donald Trump, I guess. And then what next one is Bernie G. Thompson v.
Wait,
Donald
verse
Trump.
Donald Trump?
Maybe it's just v. Donald Trump. That's my guess, maybe.
That doesn't sound like
Okay.
a case against...
Comment. Black
election
voters in the
fraud
Detroit area have
issues.
accused the Trump campaign of attempting to disenfranchise them. So that's something related to election stuff, I guess. And then in another one, Bernie Thompson charged the defendants with violating the Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871 by obstructing the work of Congress and certifying the Electoral College vote results.
Yeah, neither of these
So
things
the 2
sound
ongoing
like...
ones.
Okay.
Those are the 2 ongoing trials.
Yeah, neither of those sound like they're addressing the concerns of Republicans with...
Sure, we can
election
read
fraud.
through every single one of these if you want. So Texas tried to file a lawsuit against Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and Michigan, and that one was denied due to lack of standing, which makes sense. A lawsuit challenging the election results. Oh, this is with Wisconsin. This was an appeal was dropped. Responding to keep defendants, including Vice President Pence and 2 legislative bodies of Congress, from certifying the vote. Stupid. Ruled. So a temporary restraining order to delay the canvassing board's vote, alleging a variety of problems with the election. On December 4th, 2020, the Minnesota Supreme Court held that the doctrine of latches applied to petitioners' claims against the Secretary of State, and they had adequate time to bring suit prior to the election, but failed to do so. In regards to observer access to post-election review, Minnesota law requires charges be served against county election officials, which the petitioners did not do. So they didn't even file their charges correctly, I guess. Seeks a dismissal affirmed, seeks an expeditionary declaratory judgment finding that Section 15 of the Electoral Count Acts are unconstitutional because these provisions violate the Electors Clause. Dismissed due to lack of standing and jurisdiction. Plaintiffs appealed to the Fifth Circuit, where the dismissal was quickly affirmed.
Based Queen reading all super chats, unlike some streamers. DGG
asked?
for life. DGG for life did.
Okay, go ahead, resume.
Mm-hmm. To nonprofits. So they had to meet those 2 criteria and then go to one of the geofence drop boxes. If they met the 2 criteria but went to a post office box, we're not going to look at them.
One of the slogans of the Democrats through all this debate has been, make every vote count. And I think we can now see in a chilling way that this is kind of what they mean. What they mean is, it doesn't matter if all kinds of illegal ballots are being dropped in, let's just count them.
Now the narrative needs to be that this is the most secure election. This is the most fabulous election we've ever had. Pay no mind to the millions of Americans that are saying something is not right. This does not make sense. Nothing to see here. Just smile and wave, boys.
I mean, wouldn't it be an accurate summary to say that these voter bills...
She just cite the Madagascar meme.
Maybe. So we've seen pictures of just people throwing in some ballots in. Okay, we're not seeing anything, but yeah, go ahead.
That the Democrats are desperate to enact, to federalize the election. Isn't it that they want to take all these special provisions that have enabled what we've described, or you've described in the 2020 election, and make it permanent?
If we don't wake up and do the hard, roll up your sleeves work that it's going to take to reel this all back together, then yes, all the pieces are in place for our election system to be in permanent lockdown. And it will be done under the watchful eye of a media that will tell you it's all just fine.
It seems like they are subverting democracy in the public pretense of protecting it.
Absolutely. And it won't stop unless we stop it.
If I look across the swath of Republicans,
Yeah.
this is not the kind of issue that they seem to be comfortable with. It's almost like they would rather endure.
That's right.
As I said,
Well, it's a gamble, right? Because the ones that are enduring are currently elected and in power. When you watch these brazen acts and nobody says a word
Brazen.
because they're scared that they're going to be sued, because they're scared that they're going to be canceled, because they're scared that they're going to be silenced, that kind of chilling effect is exactly what they want.
And as I said, on the other side of fear is freedom. If you never get past the fear, you're never free.
Let's sum up what we know. Do we know for sure that this was not, in fact, far from, the most secure election in history?
It was not.
We know that for a fact.
Do we know for a fact that there was coordinated, systematic fraud in all the key states where the election was decided?
Yes.
Yes.
And therefore, does it follow that the people who suspected fraud, even though they didn't have the proof, their suspicion was right?
Absolutely. Their instincts are right.
Wow.
And moreover, that the states that are trying to do something about systematic fraud by restoring a modicum of, let's call it the old rules, checking your voter ID, checking signatures. You want a mail-in ballot? You know what? You got to request an absentee ballot. We're not going to send 20 million ballots out there and see what comes back. That these voter integrity laws, far from being voter suppression, are actually a legitimate way to make sure that the people who vote are actually eligible to vote.
100% accurate.
That's absolutely correct.
Another one. Where's the DJ Khaled thing? Look at how this loser puts his mask on to get out of his car. Unbelievable. He's got the blue gloves and everything. You think he's gonna throw them away afterwards?
Okay, so you know what's gonna
Look at him looking around. Oh my god.
So-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. He's
You
just
know-
so guilty.
You know what's
looking,
going to be interesting? So if, let's say that these people are not mules, right?
Mhm.
If they're not mules, then inevitably you're going to have one person recognize themselves in this movie and come out and say, especially you, I'm sure you have like New York Times journalists and all these PolitiFact people like just looking everywhere.
Scouring to try to find- yeah, probably,
Scouring
yeah.
to try and find these people. And if they find one, and like, let's see, this guy will be shoving a good amount in there. If they find just one that's like, hey, I work at a care home, that's going to look pretty bad, hey? But I think it's...
Maybe, but here's another possibility to consider. It might be the case that some of these people are actually doing illegal things, but it's not actually like a bad thing. Like, for instance, it
Wait,
might
what
be the
what
case.
does that mean?
Well, I was literally just about to explain for you. Cut me off, you fucking piece of shit, okay? Like, let's say that I'm hanging out with all my friends in my Miami apartment, and, you know, we're all like, oh, did you guys vote, whatever? It's like, yeah, we got our absentee shit. And it's like, oh, do you want me to, like, drop it off for you? Technically, that would be illegal, but I'm like, I'm dropping my ballots off for, like, me and, like, 3 or 4 of my friends, right? So it's like, it's an illegal thing, and we could argue that it's, like, a bad thing, but we're still not at the level of, like, some guy is filling out ballots for, like, 20 people and driving off, right? So that could be the case, too. Not to say that that's good, but, again, it's far cry from, like, the drug mule, you know, fucking whatever the oh god, what's the name of the gang that Trump always talks about?
MS-13.
Yeah, it's not like MS-13 drug runners, you know, dropping off ballots at the fucking ballot box or something. That could be a possibility, but who knows?
They include footage. Like, they have this scene where they just keep showing footage, and it's like dozens and dozens of people, right? There would have to be... If we're assuming that a lot of these people are actually just submitting ballots for family and this whole mule conspiracy isn't true, like a lot of the mainstream media are saying, and people like yourself. I'm skeptical as well.
Well, hold on, wait. I don't know. I have no idea what these...
Okay,
I'm
okay.
being shown a couple videos from like potentially millions of ballots being dropped off. I have no fucking idea.
So like a lot of people have a healthy skepticism, and they're like, I don't know, it could be people just dropping it off for family. you will eventually have someone recognize themselves, surely, and come
Maybe.
out.
I don't know how popular these films are. I don't know if anybody could tell, but maybe you will. But who knows? We'll see, right? How long hasn't this been out for like 2 days?
A few days, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's gotten huge views and coverage, so
Huge views.
huge,
Okay.
massive.
Well, we know a lot of people read the headlines at
Bigly.
least. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got the gloves again. He's got the
I
gloves
know.
again.
That's crazy. The gloves.
What was
going on during
no.
this time? Yeah, go
Wait,
ahead.
no. Wait, why would you put gloves on before voting? Why?
I don't know. Why did he put his mask on before getting out of the fucking car, Lord? You tell me. He did. You saw him do it. Why?
Why did he put his mask on? Did he put his mask on?
Go rewind. Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. People do weird
What do you
shit.
mean? I don't know. People do weird shit like put on a mask and gloves before like going
When you
to
literally
vote.
say bag, it's fucking big, okay? Tons of people do weird things. I don't know why they do that. In the beginning of the pandemic, I put on a fucking glove or put on a mask before I got on my car. I don't
But
fucking
only
know.
to vote, not to like go out
Not
and do
to
everything
vote,
else.
But I mailed my shit in. I don't know, before touching a dirty ballot box, maybe some people are paranoid and they put gloves on for it. I don't fucking know. Watch this guy. Look,
Yeah.
he's about to get out of his car.
There's no one there. Why does he need to put a mask on?
I don't know, but clearly, like, what do you think? So it's just people doing people. Humans gonna human, man.
Okay.
A wise woman once said that.
No. You know, the more I watch this, the more I'm like, what the hell is going on? There's no reason, unless you're doing something extremely suspicious. There's no reason to be like, well, it's like 3 a.m. here. Time to put my little mask on and my gloves before dropping this mail off. Like,
You think this is extremely that he puts on a fucking medical mask?
there's
to
no
get out of
one
his car?
there. There's clearly no one there.
Maybe it's a fucking habit. Maybe he's been doing this for 2 years. He's just used to putting a mask on before getting out of his car. I don't fucking know, dude. There's nothing here. Like,
No, this is weird. This is weird. You can't convince me this isn't weird. And then he's like, oh no, a car. Huh. Okay.
maybe he just heard a fucking car behind him and it's 2 a.m. so it's kind of spooky.
And it's 2 a.m. So he's got to put his mask and gloves on.
Okay.
What you are seeing is a crime. These are fraudulent votes.
Wait.
Look at him thumbs upping the dude. That's the guiltiest thing I've seen so far. He was probably thumbs upping because that was another Antifa operative. They recognized each other. Like, bro, are you the same dude from ballot box 127? And the guy was like, bro, yeah, what are you up to? I'm turning 250 ballots today. Sick, man. I'm on like 287. Like,
Okay. I'm a little more suspicious of this one. All these people
Okay.
sitting here watching, and he's just like,
I like how they're
"Yum, yum."
simultaneously so brazen, but then also like so. Why does that woman look at the woman at the bottom of the camera? Why does she have a mask on? Is she part of it too? Is that another Antifa super soldier? Like,
She
why
does
does this
have
guy only have
multiple
one?
votes in
Why does
hand.
this,
Maybe
and
they
look,
all,
this guy?
maybe they all are from the same organization.
Look at him thumbs up. I bet that's the secret fucking symbol. That's the Antifa sign, dude. Jesus.
So if this is fake, one of these people is gonna come out. They put so many videos here. One of these people is gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I was voting for like my aunt and my sister in the care home."
Were allowed.
Maybe,
to give
who
your
knows? There's a
ballot
lot
to
of
be
people, but
delivered
we'll
by a
see.
family member or a caregiver. This is vote harvesting, but it's not the same as ballot trafficking. In no state in America is it legal for nonprofit organizations to collect ballots and pay mules to deliver them to mail-in drop boxes.
Wow.
Damn.
Now we come
Oh
to
my
the
God.
most important question
Okay,
of all.
the
Was
most important part.
You're gonna like this part.
Magnitude of vote trafficking in these key swing states enough to tip the balance in the 2020 presidential election? Let's first narrow in on just our 2,000 mules. Their average number of
Hold on, one
Dropbox
sec. Just
visits-
someone in my chat was asking, how do they know these people were being paid? We have no fucking idea. I don't know if they're going to present any evidence of that, but we'll see. We'll get there.
That's
okay?
true.
Don't
I have
spoil,
no
don't
idea.
spoil, don't
I have
spoil.
no idea either. No, they don't.
well, now you
But-
spoil.
oh wait,
Okay.
actually, maybe.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, go ahead.
38. Their average number of illegal ballots deposited per visit? 5. That's 380,000 illegal votes. But was this sufficient to put Biden in the White House? To answer
How did
that
they know they were
question,
all
we
illegal
must
for
look at
Democrats?
That,
Wait,
that, that was a question I had too, and I mentioned this in my review. But the argument they essentially make is that they have them visiting these like left-wing NGOs. So that's the tracking. They track them going to a ballot box and going back to the NGO, and then also the phone data coinciding with Antifa protesters.
Okay, wow, gotcha. For all of these mules, even though it only said some of them went to the pro vote. Okay.
500 mules, averaging 50 drop box visits and 5 illegal ballots per drop. That's 125,000 illegally trafficked votes, not quite the 154,000 vote difference between Trump and Biden. So Michigan, with its 16 electoral votes, stays in the Biden.
Okay, he's admitting, even with these illegal votes, you know, Biden still won that state. That's a, you know, solid partisan movie, all right?
Gotcha.
Or bipartisan, shit.
In Wisconsin, 100 mules, averaging 28 drop box visits and 5 illegal ballots per drop. That's 14,000 illegally trafficked votes, 6,000 votes short to give Trump the win. So using only our mules, Wisconsin's 10 electoral votes stays in the Biden camp. But
Okay,
now
hold
we
on.
come to Georgia. 250 mules, averaging 24 drop box visits and 5 illegal ballots per drop. That's 30,000 illegally trafficked votes, far more than the 12,000 vote difference between Trump and Biden. So Georgia, with 16 electoral votes, moves over into the Trump column.
Ooh.
In Arizona, the numbers are
Got
roughly
one win.
the same. 200 mules, averaging 20 drop box visits and 5 illegal ballots per drop. That's 20,000 illegal votes. Again, these illegal votes are substantially more than the 10,000 vote margin that gave the state's 11 electoral votes to Biden. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania alone, 1,100 mules, averaging 50 drop box visits and 5 ballots per visit. That's 275,000 illegal votes, again comfortably exceeding the 80,000 vote margin between Trump and Biden. So Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes goes
Oh
to
my
Trump.
God.
Shockingly, even this narrow way of looking at just our 2,000 mules in these swing states gives Trump the win, with 279 electoral votes to Biden's 259.
Damn.
That's insane.
But no one thinks that our 2,000 mules were the only mules trafficking illegal votes.
Yeah, that's just the tip of the
To
iceberg.
widen the search, Greg and his team lowered the criterion from 10
From
or
10
more
to what, 7?
5 or
5.
more drop
Oh
boxes.
my
This
God.
revealed a huge upsurge in the number of mules from 2,000 to 54,000. 54,000 mules.
Hold on,
Next,
pause
they
for a
used
second.
very
54,000 mules, and not a single person in the United States leaked any of this until Dinesh comes out with this groundbreaking, earth-shattering documentary on how the Democratic Party so much more competent than we ever thought. How many bodies did the Clintons bury? How many Seth, whatever the guy's name was, are dead to keep this thing a secret? Unbelievable.
So they're saying like further on in the film they have whistleblowers that come out and say I was
Thank
part
God.
of this, right?
Oh my
but I
God.
will say
They probably waited till the end of the film because they had to wait for them to get off the Project Veritas set to come over for the interview, I bet. But yeah, go ahead.
it is if they had like thousands of these meals, eventually someone will come out and explain the whole process and have receipts, have how they were paid, all of this, right? If it is true, that should reasonably come out eventually. But also, like, how illegal is it to cast a ballot that's fake in the US? Like, what's going to happen to you?
Fake ballot would be a felony, I would imagine.
Right. So, like,
but there's
if
also
this
gonna be
is
different
true and
levels
they're
of-
suggesting these people are committing felonies, why would they come out?
Probably because you can get protection status. No, if you're willing to whistleblow, one, you can come out anonymously, or two, you could go out to law enforcement and then make like plea deals and shit, right? If you're willing to not incriminate like a ton of other people, like you would get immunity for it, right? In fact, I would imagine after this film comes out, you'd probably have a lot of people explicitly looking for immunity. Like, hey, this should happen. Like, if you make me a deal of immunity, like I'll, whistleblow on all these people to like law enforcement.
I don't know if many people understand how that works or would have that confidence.
You don't need many people. You only need a couple out of 54,000 election fraudulent mules, right?
And is
Also,
that
keep
really
in
how
mind-
it works? Like, hey, I did something super illegal, but you're not going to do anything to me, right? If I come and tell you, like, is that really how it works?
Wait, why are you playing stupid? Didn't you were telling me privately that you did this with the FBI when they signed you up for Antifa. Didn't you say that you had a deal or whatever?
So true. So true.
Or is that supposed to be, sorry, okay, keep going. But honestly, literally, yeah, I think there would probably be some person who would
got a foot cramp. Oh my gosh. Ow!
Is that your tick so people know that you fucked up? No, but like, I'm pretty sure somebody would know this. Somebody would say something. Somebody would do something. Like, but hey, who knows?
How do I get rid of a foot cramp?
I try doing jumping jacks. I have no idea. Don't cramps go away on their own after a while?
Sorry, that was the little... that was the buzzer that the FBI put in my neck. When I start to talk about them.
Make sure to delete the stream. Don't you need like iron or something? Eat a banana. I don't know.
I think it's what the chat was saying. I haven't drank enough water. It's just been straight vodka.
Okay, let's keep.
Okay.
Also,
Okay,
I hope we're gonna see at least like one person across multiple videos. It's a little weird that that hasn't happened yet, but maybe we'll see. Maybe that's coming up. Okay. All right, go.
Yeah. All right.
What?
Conservative estimate of just 3 ballots per Dropbox visit. Now, when we multiply this increased number of mules times the 5 Dropbox visits per mule times just 3 illegal votes per drop, we find election fraud on an astonishing scale. In Wisconsin, 83,565 illegal votes were trafficked. In Georgia, 92,670.
Okay, can we pause for one more second?
Pennsylvania, 209.
Yeah.
I just want to say also, just for the record, okay, 500 illegal votes across the entire United States that were coordinated, that would be probably one of the most groundbreaking election fraud stories in the world. Like, especially in the United States, but maybe even worldwide. 500 to 1,000 votes. We're alleging almost 1 million. That's just, say, for perspective, but okay, go ahead.
9,505. In Michigan, 226,590. And in Arizona, 207,435. Using this calculus, Trump would have won all the key states. And
Wow.
the final electoral vote?
Tim was right.
305 to 233.
So true. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Someone, America76 says, nothing was illegal in 2020 since most states didn't follow their own electoral legislation. There's nothing to charge.
Oh, cool.
Okay, that was just a super chat there.
Wanted to get my Salem colleagues' take on what I'd learned here.
This is something I said in my review. I like this. He starts out the documentary by talking to these guys and like asking if they think the election was stolen, showing they have skepticism, and then ends it by showing everything that he found. The only thing I would have done differently was had a mixed room of like Democrats, libertarians, and not just a bunch of conservatives, right?
Maybe, but I think your goal here is for people that believe the big lie. There are a large number of Jesus. Okay, hold on. I'm about to. Okay. The Republican Party right now is having a huge identity crisis because a lot of people that are in the Republican Party are more aligned with Trump than they are with the Republican Party. And the Republican Party is trying to bring these people back in line with the Republican Party. And one of the big fractures has to do with this idea that the election was stolen. So the reason why he's probably focusing on Republicans as part of the strategy of this video is because a lot of people that are part of the party of Trump and not necessarily Republicans are looking to Republican leadership asking, hey, why the fuck aren't you guys saying anything? Look at all this election fraud. Look at all this data. Look at all these videos. Look at all these things. Why aren't you guys doing anything? Like, people that are aligned with Trump don't give a fuck what Democrats think about election fraud, or they don't care what their opinions are on it. They want to know why their own leadership doesn't seem to be representing them in these types of cases. That's probably why he's focused on Republican leadership.
That makes sense. But I'm more thinking from just a documentary standpoint rather than a
well, we can't all be
political strategy.
impassioned, non-biased, non-partisan observers like you, Lauren. Some of us have our own, political biases. Yeah.
Centrist fence sitter over here. That's me. All right, let's go.
Okay.
How did you get this video? Is this all surveillance footage? Is this like official status?
This is all. Sorry, this is all acquired through open records and the way that we get into this.
There's 4 million minutes of video.
Well, these are official footage.
This is official surveillance footage. It's indisputable. It was taken by the state itself.
That's the only place that the video
left,
came
I
from.
think, did not anticipate that anyone would go through this video.
So this is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Don't we all vote at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Right.
Good
Wearing
point, dude.
gloves?
This seems silly.
Oh,
but
and a
something-
mask,
Well,
dude.
how do we-
It's
this
weird,
is
it's
not
weird.
Normal mail.
It's super weird.
This is a ballot Dropbox.
Right.
Okay, this is not the mailbox we write your mom.
Oh, that
got
one lady
gloves on.
again.
She's got gloves.
Gloves. She didn't even look at the trash can.
She
Point it
went to
out.
gloves. Whoopsie daisy.
been there
She walked
before.
straight past that can and didn't see
You gotta
it.
show that again. It's hilarious.
Show it again. Oh my God, that's insane,
Look, she
dude.
just walks in.
Look, she doesn't look at the
So
trash
this
can.
is not the first time she's done that.
No. So that one was in Georgia, is that right?
Yes.
So in Georgia, it is illegal to turn in anyone but yourself or your family member's ballot. It is
Is that
illegal.
right?
It is illegal. So forget
Yeah.
the outcome. That's an illegal practice, what you just saw. That's right.
Video number 2.
Dog
Well, wait, how do we know that was
guy.
illegal? Wait, how do we know that? Do we know that she's turning in a ballot that's not hers or her immediate family members? Or are we just like saying
I think,
crazy shit for the
wait,
documentary?
which state were they talking about? Because it may
Georgia,
be...
he's saying it's illegal to turn in a ballot that's not your own or your family members. How do we know that she wasn't turning in family member ballots? Do we know that?
Yeah, true. In Georgia, you can hand in a household member, caregiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know,
Doesn't
Republicans
even
making crazy things with no evidence, you know.
Okay.
Wonder why so many of the
Show
cases
that
were
again.
dismissed, huh?
It's hilarious. Look, she just walks in.
Oh, we're watching
So
her
this
again.
is not the first time she's done that.
No, that's okay. He wanted us to watch this one video like 7 times, so I'm glad we can watch it 8
It
times.
is illegal to turn in anyone but yourself or your family member's ballot. It is
Is that
illegal.
right?
It is illegal. So forget the outcome. That's an illegal practice, what you just saw. That's right.
Video number 2.
Dog guy.
This is called Dog Guy.
Dog guy. Oh, I'm so glad they censored
Sorry,
the dog.
I'm-
Thank God. Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to process that. Like, it would be pretty easy to fact check Charlie's claim there.
What?
Especially if they spent, you know, editing a documentary. It's a long ass process. I think they spent like a year working on this, right? Or not quite a year, but they
Okay.
spent a long ass time. Why would they just leave that in there if it's not illegal to hand in someone else's vote in Georgia? I don't understand.
Well, so this is okay. This is my thought process for how I can tell when people like you are lying to me. Okay, or anybody. This is how I can usually tell. Okay, if somebody comes up to me with a claim, my assumption, if I'm working from their mind, is you're going to show me the best evidence you have, right? Let's say that I think that like I always relate to cheating. I don't know if this is I'm not. Yeah. So like, let's say that I think that like a girlfriend is cheating on me, okay? In my mind, let's say that I see her go to somebody else's house. Like, let's say I watch her walk into the house. And then let's say that I also know that she like called a guy 2 times that she told me she's not talking to. Let's say I have those 2 pieces of evidence. When I confront her, I'm not gonna scream at her over and over again about like phone calls. I'm gonna lead with my strongest evidence every time. Anytime you're trying to convince somebody of something, you always show like, this is what I have, like prove it. So anytime I'm watching, especially like a documentary, you've taken the time to carefully curate your story to show me exactly what you want. When I'm seeing something like that and there's already a lot of questioning going on, it makes me wonder. Like if I was laying this out, especially because they've got like fancy graphics, they got fancy shit, what I would do is I would say like, here is this lady, take a little info, show her face. Here is the route that she took.
Yeah.
And then here is video footage at this box, and this box. And now I'm
are
saying
you
this without
reading
having
my
oh, wait,
Twitter?
wait.
You literally stole this from my Twitter.
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I haven't
bud.
watched your Twitter at all today. Okay, I only stalk you on
That's
weekends.
exactly
okay?
what I
But
said.
like, okay, well, fuck. Now you're spoiling it because I was gonna say because I haven't watched the rest of this yet. So if they did this, I'm admitting right now that I would say that's a little bit harder to explain. Still not impossible, but if you show me video footage of the same person dropping off multiple ballots at like 8 different boxes, that gets a little bit weirder unless there's like some legality that is definitely weirder. But if they had that footage, I feel like 100% you would show that.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. But,
Yeah.
you know, who knows? Maybe we'll see. Maybe it's in here somewhere.
Okay.
Your tweets.
Quick super chats, and then we've got Dinesh has released a bit more since people brought up that question, and we'll go over it right after this little bit here. Someone says,
Oh, it's also weird. Hold on, real quick. It's also
Yeah.
kind of damning because they said that they have videos of all these places, but have you noticed that they're only showing you video footage from like I think 4 or 5 different sites? And that one scene where they blow up and they zoom out all the different times, it's only like 4 or 5 different sites that they're showing you video footage from. Number one, and number two, if they did have video footage from everything, why aren't we just going from place to place to place?
I think
Because
they
remember,
specifically said they don't have video footage of everything and that a ton of cameras were shut off, but then they only show
said a
they only
few were,
show
but-
one email saying they didn't have camera footage in that.
Yeah, and they
county.
only have, so you're telling me you only had 5 cameras running? Because this is starting to hurt stuff a lot. Because how did we ever arrive at that number that on average, 5 ballots were dropped off at each box? Let's say that I'm looking at one voter box and I see that somebody's dropped off, like on average, like 5 ballots, but then their geolocation data shows them going to 20 other boxes. How do I know that they actually dropped any ballots off of those boxes at all? I don't know that, right? And now I'm
And
now I'm
why wouldn't
estimating
you have
that-
footage of it? Yeah. Sorry, someone in my
anyone,
chat just
just
said,
one.
can someone tell Lauren that these videos are all of Mules that visited over 10 drop boxes? That's what we're saying. We're saying, okay, so in a second year, we're about to get to someone who they allege went to 27 boxes, and maybe he did, but then for some reason they don't show any other footage of him at other boxes. So that's the question. It's like, okay, you've got the geo-tracking data. Shouldn't you be able to link that with footage rather than just one video? One person says, super chat, you guys should host a show together, conservative and liberal. You got more than Crystal and Cigar from Rising.
Oh my God, those two people are insufferable. Jesus. But
Animal says Galagadoo, La Magicaboo. No, I'm not reading. I feel like this is bippity boppity voter fraud. And T-Bone says, hi, Lauren. What about the validity of the Time magazine article in 2020 claiming the election was fortified? UK subscriber here. Time article. I remember that, but I don't remember it well enough to election fortified. Do you know what he's talking about, Stephen?
I think a lot of people tried to put in other measures of things checking, but I don't remember. The election night was crazy because the thing, here's what you find out, Lauren. Every time an election happens, the reality is that nobody knows how any of it's ran. So as soon as people start looking in, they're like, oh my God, this is crazy. Oh my God, this is crazy. The best example of this in the United States are fucking caucuses. Do you know what a caucus is?
Yeah, what's a caucus?
It's like a ton of people stand in a room and they're like, who votes for him? And like some people raise their hand and somebody's like, who votes for him? And then other people are like, oh, it looks like he had more. And they like, it's insane. Caucuses are a joke in the United States. But like nobody gets mad at that process until they like their person loses. And then they look into it and they're like, wait, what the fuck? This is wild, guys. And I was like, yeah, that's how it's always gone though, right? So I feel like a lot of the election processes are similar to this where people are like, why are they only doing this? Like, well, that's how they've always done it. If you don't like it, that's fine. But it's not like there's something out of the ordinary here.
Okay, T-Bone, I know the article you're talking about, but I'm gonna have to go back and read the whole thing to remember it because like you said, it's been a minute since they came out with that. Jay says Neckbeard didn't come in with an open mind, but he's curious, and you both have a good dynamic. That's you, I think, Neckbeard.
I shave. Fuck you. Show me that guy's fucking neckbeard. I bet he's got one.
That lady was from South Carolina, not Georgia, who they're saying it was illegal. Let's see. What are the laws in South Carolina?
Also,
it's only Alabama where only the voter can return the vote. I think.
Sure. Okay, and then also, not to hold you to anything you've said earlier, okay, and I haven't verified this article or anything.
I feel like you're about to say that.
Okay, I would never do that, okay? So, election investigators have reviewed several videos included in 2,000 Mules, and found no illegal behavior, including a video that showed a Gwinnett County man inserting ballots into a drop box pointing to the Secretary of State's office. We investigated, and the 5 ballots that he turned in were all for himself and his family members, said Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger during a debate last week. So it sounds like that at least one person has been looked into. I don't know if other people have been looked into, but
okay, South Carolina, you actually can bring in multiple ballots. So if she was from South Carolina, as long as she was chosen by the voter to go and submit their ballot, then she can. And
even for a non-family member person?
Seems to be that, yeah.
Oof, geez, okay. And then I hope before we get to the end of this, I hope they have at least one person at 2 ballot boxes because holy fuck. I just hope that one because also holy shit. Look at all these
24 states allow you to take someone's ballot who isn't even a family member.
Oh, so that thing I talked about in Florida might not even be illegal then, that thing, right?
No, Florida is Florida is actually, yeah, Florida is chosen by the voter as well. Yep.
Cool. Okay. Wow. Damn. Okay, well. Okay, go.
Okay. Oh,
we're getting to the strongest evidence. I think we've actually presented it all now, huh? Now we're just like wrapping up the thesis, but we'll see.
If you spent the time following one person at multiple boxes, then the argument would be that you only showed one mule. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. No, that would be really damning. That it would be stronger evidence.
More than showing me 10 different people going to
a single box.
We're showing me 2. If you showed me 2 people, even with 1, but 2 going to like 5 or 6 different boxes would look pretty bad. Like
that would look insane. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'd be talking way faster. Okay, that one.
If I were making this documentary, I know that is what I would be looking for to put in the documentary. I'd be scouring this footage for, I'd do a tracking the geolocation with the footage beside the geolocation. Sure. That would look great.
And also, it's a documentary by Dinesh. Like, he can make it like 10 minutes longer if he wants. I doubt he's on like a strict hard time limit. It's not like it's being shown on like cable TV and they're like, it has to be 59 minutes or whatever, right? Like, yeah. But, okay, go.
Okay.
Taking pictures.
Wow.
Why would you do that?
That dog.
That's business.
This is business.
These guys are like 80 years old. Why would you take a picture?
Actually caught this person at that moment.
Does he know how long it's
Any
going to take for the
ballots
Polaroid
and
to
the
develop?
person did. What do you think you would see? Whose name is on it, in your opinion?
Ineligible voters, people that have moved.
Would you see legitimate ballots?
There's an ambiguity in what you're saying. The ballot itself is legitimate.
No, that
Right. It's not a
I know,
fake
it's not
piece
a
of paper.
counterfeit, yes,
right.
okay.
But again, remember, when you mail in a ballot, you have a security envelope with the signature verification standard that's been all but washed away. And as soon as it's taken out of that envelope, then you have a disconnect, and the ballot is private.
It's a virgin sheet of paper.
The ballot is
The only
private.
ID is on the envelope on the outside.
This is an example of
Oh, this
multiple
guy again.
ballots. So this,
He doesn't have his mask pulled up. Oh my god.
Time voting time.
Gotta beat the lines.
this person comes up, and what you're going to see is.
Hold
when
on,
you
pause,
try to
pause,
put
pause,
too many
pause,
ballots
pause.
in.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you do this. I'll admit that I do this. I think everybody does this. But you know when somebody says etc., what they mean is they don't have anything else up to say, right? Like if I were to say like Lauren is a Nazi because she did that thing, this thing, that thing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If I knew there were more things, I would list them all. I wouldn't just say et cetera. I'm saying et cetera because I'm out of shit to say, right? That's like 99% of the time,
That's
right?
like 50% of the time. The other 50% is I know there's more, but I'm too lazy to look into it.
Sure. Well, so when these guys say they have 4 million minutes of CCTV footage, why the fuck am I seeing the same like 3 videos like 8 times? Why wouldn't you show me a new video every time? Wouldn't that look better? Just saying, you know? Like I feel like I've seen this video like is this my 3rd time on that one? And then how many times have I seen it? But
I just don't understand why they're showing this guy. They had a guy back here that is literally shoving like 9 ballots in, which looks way worse than this guy shoving 2. I don't understand their decision making in that regard. I'd put the guy
Yeah, who
that's
knows?
just like
That's
bam,
weird.
bam, 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 bam.
That's questionable, isn't it? But and more sound effects. They could use Call of Duty hit markers. They could use like the TikTok sound. But you know, we'll go. Okay, keep going.
He needs a shoehorn.
Okay, that's gonna be bad. That's gonna be really bad if this guy is like, that was like my wife and I's ballot, and they're making comments like, man, he needs a shoehorn for all those ballots.
Yeah,
Like,
and she like just died of like leukemia.
Okay.
It was their last dying breath was to vote for.
and it was for
Biden.
Donald Trump.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah.
Lots of those where they're just jamming them in and then they fall on the ground. And when you can jam
Well, I
them,
mean, this alone is, to say the least, suggestive. Who's voting at 3:57 a.m. with a whole bunch of ballots?
And then being able to match that ping where he's standing there to the next place he goes.
Yeah,
So
that
the
is
next
weird.
place-
Videos of one.
right.
But
Is
each
it
one
weird in a
these
city of
you
6
know.
million people that
it is weird
some
to
of
be
them vote at
voting.
3 a.m.?
No, it is weird to be voting at 3 a.m. It's weird to
I
be
will
wearing
say
gloves
something.
and masks while voting. It's weird for your
First of all-
geolocation data to show up at multiple places.
Lauren,
while
how
voting
many
at 3
times do you
a.m.?
get triggered with people wearing masks in the dumbest of places, okay? So that doesn't mean anything. Secondly, believe it or not, there are some people that work overnight. I know it's crazy to believe it, but people like me, we're driving around at 4 a.m. with nothing to do, going to McDonald's because that's what time we're awake. It could be people that just are awake at night, you know?
But no, but all of the footage is of people who have geolocation data, allegedly, according to the documentary. All of the footage is of people who went to 10 or more boxes during voting
Well,
time.
not 10 or more boxes, but 10 or more locations that had boxes.
And
These boxes
5
could be outside of,
NGOs.
locations that
least.
had NGOs, right?
Yeah. Assuming all the data they're saying is correct. It is weird. Like, you can't, I don't
Well, but
think you
mean,
can
like,
deny
it
that
could
it's
literally
weird.
be driving by a big building with a ton of offices. It could be parking at a supermarket, right? One ballot box in a supermarket and one NGO office in a place is gonna like already ping like half the city now, depending on what.
Right, we're gonna have to see
get there,
like
we'll get
how
there.
specific the data is, because if it does happen that it is like super specific data that can like show you are actually at the box, if it's data that I don't know, yeah, if it's just really specific data that is going from point to point to point to point, I think even you would agree that that's suspect, but we'll have to see it because we don't know. It could be what you're saying, that they're just driving by and they've massaged the numbers and they actually went to 1,000 other places in the city that day as well. We just don't know that. We don't.
Yeah, we'll see.
Went to.
On average,
Do you have
23
video
times.
of the same guy going different places?
Yes. Right. This is their pattern of life. So in one night, this person, this mule, went across 6 counties to 27 different drop boxes, 5 different
Hold on.
organizations.
Yeah.
In one.
I'll bet you right now, $20 USD, $20 USD, okay? That the data to properly analyze this will never be released if you want.
I already bet on this with my dad.
Wait, did you bet for it or against it?
he said we had a certain date. True the Vote have said that they are going to release the data and more footage of these people going to multiple boxes in the next few weeks. I'm not sure. I think that's going to take a long time. My dad said he thinks it's going to happen before June 7th, and I bet against him. I said I don't think it's going to happen before June 7th.
Okay,
I do
that's
think
good.
I do
That's
think
a pretty libtarded bet.
I know
Okay.
it's a really libtarded bet. It makes me sad because obviously I like Dinesh D'Souza. I think he does good work. I think this is an intriguing documentary and it's very well done. But
It's well
I
done,
think
yeah.
it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up to me why they're saying this guy went to 27 different boxes in 6 different counties. It doesn't add up to me why they wouldn't have that footage of him at multiple boxes. So then this is what I was going to bring up is Dinesh saw this critique because Ben Shapiro made it, I made it, a bunch of other people made it and tagged him and kept questioning him. And he said, okay, I should bring this up on screen. He said, okay, so fine, you have this critique of me. Can you see my screen right now on my Twitter?
Click messages. Let's go through some DMs. Yeah.
Very funny. Okay, where is this? So I'm gonna have to go to my own Twitter account.
Okay, listen. I believe you. Go.
No.
back
It's
to
important. It's important.
Oh
Listen,
my
relax.
God.
So he said, "Okay, you guys don't believe me. I actually do have a picture or footage of a guy going multiple times." And he says, yeah, keep hearing there's no video of the same guy at more than one drop box. The difficulty is many drop boxes had no surveillance at all. Whole states refused to comply with the rules and install video cameras. But okay, here you go. But this is a guy at the same drop box.
Yeah, and why wouldn't they show? Why wouldn't he have this in the video if that was the case? Also, why wouldn't he include this?
I don't understand. So like, I think it's fair of him to say like it's suspicious that he's going back twice with so many votes, but it's going to be weird if he ends up being like a care worker or something. But he's at the same Dropbox. So
That's true. That is one. Yeah, but okay.
Anyways,
go ahead. You're
journey
through the libtard. You're gaining unnatural powers. Don't worry.
Shush. I hate it because like part of me just wants to disagree with you for the sake of disagreeing because you're as this wonderful super chatter said, destiny is a cuck, and Lauren has beautiful feet. Oh no.
Wow, nice one.
Oh no. Yeah, but I can't bring myself to just disagree for the sake of disagreeing. There are some really genuine criticisms of this documentary that are worthwhile. All right, a few super chats. Sorry, wasting all your time. I'm going to make a bold statement. Joe Biden is the conspiracy theory. He died years ago. What we have is an animatronic clone puppeteered by Kamala Harris. He is the Snoke to her Palpatine, and Star Wars was a confession. So true, amoral pancake. Pablo, is this the same Hobbit that had such a based take on the Kenosha kid? Your flagrant display of lacking chromosome I find irrelevant and abhorred on this one here, bud. Lauren, use your Maple Leaf accent to salt the wound. Okay. Gallifrey says, my last chat...
Okay, hold on. First of all, if he's trying to call me a downy, it's having an extra chromosome, not lacking one. But nice try, Pablo Coulter. All right, sorry, go ahead.
The autism told him that. He knows a lot about this. My last chat showed it didn't go through, so sorry if I send repeat. You're awesome. I'm new to Destiny, but love watching him all day. And although I disagree with him, he's entertaining.
Thanks.
Greatness says geo-tracking was used to find the men that killed Sequoia Tumor in Atlanta. It's funny that most of these ballot boxes didn't have cameras. It is very
I'm curious if that's true. Somebody pasted this. The shooting led to the death of Sequoia Turner on July 4th, 2020. It was far from a cold case. Police arrested a suspect about 2 weeks later after he turned himself in. A second suspect was arrested in early August of 2021, not by federal law enforcement, but by state officials. There's no indication that geolocation data played a role in either arrest, much less data provided by Phillips' team. I don't know if that's true or not, but somebody posted that quote in chat, so maybe worth looking into, but you know.
All right.
Finding the ballots from the organization.
Correct.
So, yeah.
The Republicans had no idea this was going on during the election.
Trump, to his credit, tweeted out in July, mail-in ballots are a disaster, and he was attacked so hard by...
Wait, sorry. Someone just said, most footage was unavailable. What is Dinesh to do? If someone went to... Okay, what I would do in that case is I would show the geo-tracking data and then show that I tried to acquire the photo from the footage from the 27 boxes that we alleged the guy went to, and all of them were down, right? So like, listen, we got this footage of this one guy at this box, and then he went to 27 other locations, but here's proof that all the cameras at all of these other locations were down. I don't think the cameras were down. So the other explanation is that perhaps it's just so much damn footage that they haven't gone through yet. But I don't know, Steven, do you know if the geo-tracking data would show the exact time these people were at the boxes? Because obviously...
Yeah, it's always going to be latitude, longitude, time, and whatever the fuck
yeah,
the third
so
one was.
if you're getting the time data, then you should be able to pretty easily track down the coinciding camera data. That I don't know. I just can't add that one up. I'm trying here. Like I want to agree. I want to agree.
Why
with
is this guy's face so small? Jeez. I'm sorry.
Listen,
but he didn't have this information, obviously.
His instinct
yeah,
ended up being right.
This is the tip.
Wait, hold on. Can I get a confirm or deny on this?
On what? Uh-oh. Okay, wait. Let me.
I don't know how they even got access to this part of the footage, but...
Uh-oh. Yeah, how would they? Okay. Why did you crop out the timestamps, Dinesh? Same location, Gwinnett County, GA, 2 days apart, approximately 8:30 p.m. both days. Why does this matter?
To show that he wasn't running around doing a bunch of ballots on the same day or something? Maybe? I don't fucking know.
Well, it still shows the same guy going back to the same ballot with a bunch in hand, which is pretty weird.
Okay.
I don't know why the timestamps would matter, but that's just me.
Go for it. Oh, wait. Sorry, hold on. We're getting another link.
Okay.
And this. Oh, maybe? Now we're making more counter-conspiracy theories. I love you cropped this photo to get rid of the timestamps and try to hide that this is the same location. He's wearing scrubs and a lanyard, just like this lady in my thread below. Georgia law allows caretakers to drop off ballots. Sorry. So maybe the idea is that like he's off his shift. It's 8:30, and then afterwards he goes and he drops off ballots from whatever caretaking place.
If this is the case, and this is something I said in my review, this will come out. This will come out, and this is why I was so careful to say, you know, I can't fully support or condone the conclusion of Dinesh's documentary until we have more of this data confirmed. Because in the coming weeks, if this guy is actually a caretaker, it's obviously gonna come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's pretty...
All right. Keep going.
All right.
We're talking about extraordinary criminal activity, but there's a ton more, you would guess, that you have not even touched.
You are talking about 200,000-300,000 ballots that were just harvested in only your geolocated locations. But you are talking, what, 5% of America?
Less.
Less than 5%. Okay. So the case closed. Sorry, gentlemen, lady. Case closed. All right, so I do a heroic thing that not necessarily others here do. I read the New York Times every day. And
never mind. Okay.
Sorry for you. It's my martyrdom. They claim all of these places we have found maybe 4, maybe 50 phony ballots.
These aren't phony ballots.
Right,
no
okay,
one's
so
ever, this is a
but
very
they're
novel...
Wait, they're phony names.
No. There's no name on the ballot, Dennis.
Okay, let's say we got access to every single ballot thrown into the ballot boxes. Would we be able to prove this is a fraud?
It's the perfect crime because it cannot be curated after it is committed, because the evidence has no connection to the person who is meant to be voting. That's the problem. As soon as it gets taken out of the envelope, the identity of the voter
we're claiming,
disappears.
So the vote from John Doe is from a John Doe who is dead or a John Doe who is moved. Is that correct?
Or voted somewhere else.
Or voted so. Why is that not provable?
There's an easy way to bust it, but it's not the way you think. It's not to go
Oh,
the
shoot.
ballots in
Hold
the
on.
ballot mix.
One more thing.
Okay. While you're looking for that, I'm going to say a little thank you to Christina, who chose to watch us over Timcast tonight. She definitely believes the election was stolen because why did key areas shut down at the same time but kept counting? I think that's pretty absurd, too. I think that's pretty absurd.
Absolutely. Somebody said this in my chat. Somebody in your chat can confirm or deny, because I know we're all Motivated. This woman that doesn't look at the trash can video isn't even from the presidential election. It's from Georgia's runoff election. This was on January 5th, 2021 during Georgia's runoff election, so it had nothing to do with the presidential race.
How are they proving that? Like, what are they just saying that in your chat, or like?
I don't know. Is there for the guy that said that? Is there like a timestamp on that video somewhere that proves that, or why do you? Can anybody?
Do they have any evidence? Because I feel like that probably would have been in like a New York Times fact check.
Somebody said that they said that in the documentary, that they said that it was from January 5th, 2021. So that wouldn't have even had anything to do with the presidential election. Now someone said in all caps, they literally said that in the documentary. Did either of you watch Read? So sounds like they said it.
Okay,
so, but
I guess, well, in the documentary, did they also say they were just kind of talking about how this ballot harvesting happens?
Yeah,
like,
you know, we're I'm pretty thin ice, but that's all right. Okay, keep going.
The way to find it is these guys have the cell phone identification.
Oh yeah, my chatter's saying they said it in the doc.
All of them.
Yeah.
So law enforcement has to step in at this point, and their next step.
What were you doing 7
is
times?
to go and interview the mules. Who paid you?
Right.
Where'd you get the money?
Will any state's law enforcement do this?
This is a big question. The mules aren't going to fess up. They know they're participating in something that is
Well, you've got them on videotape. You've got 2,000 people who are committing felonies.
Right.
But they don't know that.
I'd like you to just reflect about what you've learned today and how you're feeling and thinking about it.
It's just sickening to me.
This is jaw-dropping.
What you showed is frightening.
Republicans had no clue this was going on.
I wondered, were there any Republicans who did know? Investigative journalist Heather Mullins interviews a whistleblower hired by the National Republican Senatorial Committee.
I was hired by...
Okay, I'll be honest, like the rest of this documentary, they just talk to people that are like blurred out, and I don't really care about that stuff. I don't know if you do. If you want to, we can skip to the conclusion.
Do you think any of it is like compelling evidence, or is it all just...
Okay, when it's something this big of a deal, I don't think you can use random blurred people as your evidence. Maybe I'm wrong. Wow. I don't know. What do you think?
Fuck, it's getting late, so fucking go to the conclusion. Fuck it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so anyway, but these whistleblowers that they're saying are mules or understand the background, they basically like confirm, yeah, this is what's happening. People are paid, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, so they're just basically, so none of it's going to be hard evidence, but they're going to say things like, oh yeah, they hired us. We heard stories about people being paid for this and that and that.
Yeah. So I shoved 5 ballot boxes here and there, but they're blurred. So to me, it's like, maybe, like, I'm not saying they're liars at all. I have to use blurring in most of my films too at some point, certainly when I'm interviewing human traffickers or some migrants who are like, in a precarious position. But the thing is, with a lot of my blurring content that I use in documentaries, all of it can be independently verified by people who aren't blurred or just by the footage in the film. Whereas when we're talking about like an election in the US this big, I don't think blurred people are like that.
So like good journalistic practice is probably that you're going to have a couple anonymous sources and they can tip you off to things that you can then try to verify through other routes, but you probably wouldn't just rely on presenting one anonymous source with no independent verification for something this big. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. 1 minute. He does something smart here. So this guy is something Hans von Spakovsky. So he was an attorney and former member of the Federal Election Commission. And I guess his one way that he verifies the whistleblowers is he interviews the Spakovsky guy who did work on the Federal Election Commission, who says, actually, yes, what they're saying is stuff we have seen before in elections. So that's like the confirmation, but.
Gotcha.
I personally, like, so I've watched the whole film already, obviously. I found the geo-tracking stuff way more compelling than the last half of the film, which is weird because for me, I usually put the most compelling stuff at the end of my film. Like, I'll pepper it in at the beginning, but then, like, have it, like, really hard-hitting at the ending.
Gotcha. Wow.
But that's just filmmaker critique.
And those drop boxes are, most people would think, funded entirely by the states. In other words, the drop boxes in Georgia are funded by the state of Georgia, but that's not entirely the case, is it?
In the 2020 election, there was...
Sorry, people in the chat, please show the whole thing. Listen, I've got a real life. Once again, we're on thin ice with just being in the fair use realm. So sorry, if you want to watch it, you gotta go buy it or find it elsewhere. But don't
Good
do
promotion.
that.
You should have gotten an affiliate link.
But don't go find it elsewhere because that's bad. That's wrong.
Unprecedented. Hundreds of millions of private dollars going into government election offices. The $470 million or so dollars were sent by Mark Zuckerberg and his wife.
We did our part to secure the integrity of the election.
There were a few other places that put in much smaller amounts. One entity that put in $25 million was, again, a nonprofit that's part of the Arabella Advisors.
Oh no, we're getting real close to Yordle cosplay. Oh no.
You better keep going. It's getting late for me.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up real quick.
In
I'm fucking 11:30, okay?
1.4
Okay, so they talk about like who could potentially be funding these mules, but
And so
there's
the states that we're talking
They
about.
said so. I would have a lot of questions around this. So he says it's unprecedented. So when you say that, do you mean that like no private money has ever gone towards these election boxes before, or that there's just a greater amount that went towards them before? Like, what does it mean when you say that private money goes towards it? Is that like me donating to NPR? Does that mean that I control NPR?
We'll
like
watch,
that, there's like a whole.
We'll watch this money part on 2x speed, okay?
Sure.
So that
Okay.
you can-
Gotcha. Wow. Great.
All right, are you ready, chat? Are you ready to Ben Shapiro through this?
We now know where the ballots could have come from, but to pull off a heist like this on a national scale would take deep
Uh-oh. It's not going to survive.
Find out where the money might have come from. Who could have funded the heist?
I know. I don't think we're going to be
Oh,
able
he
to
makes
do
it
that.
even more conspiratorial. So he's saying that this was like a top-down organized
American
thing.
Enterprise
Yeah.
Institute, who is
Okay, I don't think my
now head of the
computer's
Capitol
gonna-
Do
Research
1.5
Center.
times.
This is an organization that has produced multiple reports on
I don't know why it's
the
not
funding of
surviving.
elections.
Try 1.5
People
times.
think
speed.
of three rivers of money, really, that empty into the gulf of elections. The hard dollars to write a check to a candidate. The second, you hear soft
Yeah, it's not doing
money or
1.5
dark money.
either.
And then there's a third river that people tend to neglect, but Capital Research Center has studied intently, and that is the 501c3 nonprofit money, the kind of charity that you get to take a tax deduction for. That river is enormous. In the 2018 cycle, about $21 billion.
Now, what do the IRS regulations say about the involvement of these nonprofits?
By law, these nonprofit charities are forbidden to directly intervene in elections in any way or to help a particular party or candidate. The IRS is emphatic that you cannot intend or even have the effect of helping one party or candidate over the other.
Now, let's talk about some of the key elements of this particular network that we're focusing on. We have drop boxes, and those drop boxes are, most people would think, funded entirely by the states. In other words, the drop boxes in Georgia are funded by the state of Georgia, but that's not entirely the case, is it?
In the 2020 election, there was an unprecedented hundreds of millions of private dollars going into government election offices. The $470 million or so dollars were sent by Mark Zuckerberg and his wife.
We did our part to secure the integrity of the election.
There were a few other places that put in much smaller amounts. One entity that put in $25 million was, again, a nonprofit that's part of the Arabella Advisors, which, as a total empire in 2020, took in $1.7 billion.
Is there any evidence that this operation had a partisan thrust or a partisan character?
As we all know, big money rarely comes without strings attached. One of the big ones is lots and lots of drop boxes. Also, lots and lots of vote by mail. To get your nice big checks, you had to do things like have drop boxes, encourage vote by mail, have ads in foreign languages, all kinds of things that little by little are nudging the turnout for one particular political party. In addition to the
Wait, is he going to prove that? Like, what does he mean?
$470 million that went into the Zuckbot
Okay, just keep
operation.
going.
I didn't make the movie.
Also had in 2020
Okay.
a $120 million project, very secretive, called the Voter Registration Project. The $120 million, it came from Soros's foundation. It came from Visa's foundation. It came from Warren Buffett's foundation. It came from unions like the SEIU. The Voter Registration Project has as its goal increasing in the 8 target states over 2 million voters who are overwhelmingly expected to vote for the Democratic Party.
And so the states that we're talking about here, Arizona,
Yes.
Georgia,
Yes.
North Carolina,
Yes.
Any others?
Nevada, New Mexico.
Here we've got an operation of illegal vote trafficking. You've got thousands of mules. They're being paid to do this. What you're saying is there is more than enough money available to fund any such operation. In fact, this would be only one part of a much larger effort to control the election.
We are talking $500 million in nonprofit charitable funds flowing into efforts to register and get out the vote for Democrats. Most of the left-wing mainstream media, when they reported on the Zuckbucks going through, they made it sound like, oh, it's all going to go for masks and, plexiglass and all. And every study that's ever been done of some of the grants to the big cities found a few percent maybe going to help people that way, and the massive amounts of money going into ginning up the vote-by-mail operation and the drop box operation and those sorts of things that benefit one political party.
How confident should we be that this will be a fair election?
They're sending millions of ballots all over the country. This is going to be a fraud like you've never seen.
Trump predicted. He said the Democrats are going to cheat, that they're going to use the pretext of COVID, they're going to rig the rules in their favor. Nevertheless, Republicans focus their efforts on the campaign, while Democrats focus their efforts on the process of actually running the election.
The two sides don't approach elections in the same way. The Democrats, they understand that the rules, the process by which elections are conducted is just critical.
Okay, someone just said, where's the fair use commentary? Okay, here you go. This is my fair use commentary, reading your super chats. Exella Thompson, any chance at the end of the doc you could put up a poll to chat on whether this was convincing or not? I will absolutely do that. Meta, I'm still not sure which politicians are lying to me and which ones are too incompetent to prove it, but I've got work in the morning, so I'll come back tomorrow to find out if democracy is dead. Thanks for stopping by. Any fair use commentary you want to put in here, Steven, so that I don't get my channel killed?
I mean, it's not like it's just a bunch of conjecture. I need to see something, like saying that like these organizations get lots of money, they donate money for nefarious purposes. Like, show me that. What do you mean?
That's why I was saying I wanted to skip the end. I find
Okay.
the phone data stuff way more compelling than the end of the
We must now face the chilling reality. The Democrats conceived the heist. They funded it. They organized it. Then they carried it out. They rigged and stole the 2020 presidential election. We cannot be okay with this. We cannot simply move on. Guys, I'd like to have your honest
So that's like the
assessment
big conclusion.
on what you've seen,
Hold
what
on.
you've
Let's
heard,
see what these guys think now.
and what we can reasonably draw from it.
What do we have empirically? We have data, geolocated, we have footage of people harvesting ballots. Do we know who those ballots were for? We can't know who they were for. However, you have to inject common sense. Are we saying that in the centers of Democrat-held districts, we are seeing hundreds and hundreds of visits to drop boxes with pro-Trump ballots? It beggars belief.
It's ballot laundering. Looks pretty convincing to me. I don't think we'll ever know the full story. And what makes this crime so compelling and unique is that once the ballot enters the system, it's really hard to reverse engineer it. But when you have the cell phone geolocation data and then the actual footage of them doing what you expect them to be doing, taking pictures of the ballots, taking gloves off, visiting multiple times, I mean, it seems pretty clear to me, and it explains the sudden spike in Biden support that we saw late at night, kind of instinct that people had. The control of the U.S. Senate went through Georgia with Chuck Schumer's majority leader, probably because of what we just saw.
I'd like them to answer the mules. If they say it's clean, then be honest and say, okay.
They have two ways they'll try to invalidate it. One is minimizing and then slander.
Right.
So they'll try to slander Dinesh personally. They'll say, oh, Trump pardoned him or whatever. Therefore, he's trying to get back at Trump to try to reinforce the big lie. I could already see the headline of the Washington Post. Trump
They did do
ally comes
that.
out with questionable movie.
I predict right now they will.
I thought that was very cringe of the fact checkers to do. They started like all of their articles just with massive slander of Dinesh. I'm like, just get to the points that you're going to debunk.
Wait,
But anyways.
the slander being that Dinesh was pardoned after trying to was he convicted of election fraud or something?
Well, so they just opened the articles with like Dinesh has a shaky relationship with the truth and go through his past. And it's like a fact check article. And it's like, okay, I don't really care. I care about, are you going to fact check what's in the documentary? Don't try to poison me against the guy, because that makes, to me, it makes it feel like...
That's kind of true, but I would literally bet my fucking life on this, Lauren, that if there was a Democrat doing a report on some Republican shit and he was literally convicted of a crime related to exactly what he's doing the documentary on, you would say like, this is very relevant. Why wouldn't you include just that little bit? Isn't that kind of important to know, right? If he literally was like federally convicted of stuff related to like
maybe
like
if I'm like doing
absolutely,
if I'm doing like commentary, sure, but this is just like a fact check on the documentary.
Okay, yeah. Well, if there's a fact check that does that, you know, maybe that's not a good thing to do. But
so true.
On earth is a conservative doing? Tracking private citizens. Gee, how dare! What is the National Decision doing to voters at 3 a.m.? In fact, I mean, that'll be part
intimidation.
of it.
Will be the word. The word will be intimidation. They'll say no person is safe. Communities of color are being tracked. People like in black neighborhoods are now going to have to fear for their life, that their cell phone pings will be paired. And this is Jim Crow 2.0 to Dinesh.
I disagree that this is not going to be compelling enough. This is a smoking gun. This is O.J. Simpson being seen leaving the scene of the crime. I don't care how partisan you are. You can't dismiss all of this. How do you explain somebody going to a whole bunch of different drop boxes with a whole bunch of different ballots on the same night at 3:57 a.m. in the morning? How do you explain that? That alone. I'm sorry. I think a whole bunch of people in this country are going to go, oh my God.
I think that if every American saw that, I think it would move the needle. However, their ability to keep their side ignorant is total.
That's going to be impossible to keep a lid on this thing.
Well, this movie is an Overton window moment, right? So documentaries can do this every once in a while. Michael Moore did it. He moved the Overton window on many different topics 20 years ago. Al Gore did it with climate change. It'll happen, as Ernest Hemingway said, gradually and then suddenly. Because it's not just how many people are going to watch this film, it's who's going to watch it. It's going to be lawmakers. It's going to be people that work for the Bureau. It's going to be someone somewhere with a conscience that has power and say, this is a problem.
It can't be dismissed.
It can't be dismissed.
They have ruined Election Day in the United States of America. That's provable. And that's enough for me to fight the left with every fiber in my body.
Wow.
So true, but apparently I'm missing the greatest cover-up of all right now. It's been 2 years. Ask Steven what the real Day 9 story is.
I've already said it. It wasn't funny. It was dumb. Keep going.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what the context of that is.
It's nothing.
Without free and fair elections, we are not a democracy. We are a nation run by a criminal cartel masquerading as a democracy. Never in U.S. history has a presidential election been as thoroughly corrupted by coordinated fraud across multiple states as we now know took place in 2020. Today, totalitarian regimes camouflage their fake elections with appearance of democracy, but they're not real democracies. We don't want to join them. Our elections must represent the will of American citizens. We who believe in constitutional democracy must be diligent. If we give up, they win. In fact, if enough of us give up, they won't need to cheat anymore. Don't stay home. Get involved. Get out and vote. Do what is necessary to save this great country. The America we love needs us now more than ever.
Boom.
Wow.
All right, there you
Nice
go,
job.
guys. That QR code. Okay, so I think it was well done. I think the movie was, you know,
Like the music was good, and
aesthetically,
the performances
music,
were.
the setup,
okay.
all of it. But I don't think it convinced me that the election was stolen.
Damn. I was hoping
That's
this would be the one that would get me. I wanted to jump onto the big truth, but maybe for the next one, you know. What do you
Okay.
give it at the end of the day? Give us a score.
I'll give it a 7.5. You?
Wow. For a non-convincing documentary, I'll give it a 2. I mean, if it doesn't convince me what it's trying to convince me, so that's already like a 5 at
Okay,
the
wait.
best.
Did this documentary, I'm putting up a poll, convince you the election was stolen? Now, this poll may unfortunately
It's gonna be
just
heavily
end
biased
up
'cause of-
being your audience and my audience voting against each
Yeah.
other, and heavily biased because you've rated my channel. So,
True. That's the whole point. And they're all slowly being convinced now, so.
question for both of you: doesn't this rise to the level that a federal level investigation should be commissioned to get to the truth, whatever that might be? I think you said you support an investigation. I absolutely think they should submit all this
Wait,
data.
hold on. I don't support like there being like a federal tribunal. But I support these guys submitting this to investigators if they want, or to law enforcement to see where that goes. But like Trump already convened an entire federal thing to try to find voter fraud, and they didn't find it, right? Like, I don't know if I've seen anything here that's like, we absolutely need a special commission thing, like, commissioned right now in order to investigate. Like, I don't know if that's, like, the case. Like, but, hey, listen, if they want to submit this to law enforcement or to a judge and see if they can get some traction on it. But, like, technically, we didn't see anything that was proven to see anything illegal. Nothing was shown. No crimes were shown at all in this. that was
Yeah.
like 100%.
I really hope they submit the data. If the phone data is true, I think it's a really good starting point. I think they need
Yeah.
to follow up on all of the video footage, find people going to multiple sites, find out if they were voting for family members, but all of that needs to be done. And I can understand how that's not within the scope of something that private citizens or Dinesh D'Souza is going to be able to do. It's obviously going to have to be actual, people that are able to get warrants, investigate this on a deeper level.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, well, hey, listen, this was a great experience. Do you have any final words or thoughts or parting?
No, that was it. That was it. Well, thanks for watching this movie. Damn, we're gonna have to get one. Oh, you know what?
Don't say it. What?
You should come on and when I come out with my latest movie, American Mirage, we can review
The
that
Mirage
together.
one.
Because
Oh,
you're not
boy.
going to be able to debunk that. I was there. Everything I say, it's going to be like, oh, were you there?
Oh boy,
Were you
that's gonna
there?
be the one where you're crying at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, have a good one, Steven.
Have fun. Yep. Good night. Thanks for joining me. Am I allowed to steal this footage from my YouTube channel?
Yeah, if you want to get it taken down, for sure. For sure, Z's. I'm putting this on like unlisted or private after I'm done, so I can download it after and send it to you if you want.
Fuck, that's right. Actually, I don't know if I might get hit.
You actually no, you
All right.
won't. I don't think you will if you put it. I sent you the email for the person who does the copyright stuff, so you should be able to put in a claim.
Okay.
I can also
All
show
right,
you
have
where
fun.
to
Stay
submit
safe.
it.
Be careful.
All right. Bye.
Have fun. Bye.
Okie dokie, everyone. I'll finally read through your neglected super chats now. Sorry, my super chat. I look so far this way because that's where like my super chat computer is. Oh man, we're getting a strong no. We got 24% of people that were convinced by this, that said, yes, I do believe the election was stolen. And then, unbelievably cucked, degenerate, disgusting DGG audience that all said, no, I'm joking. There's probably a good portion of my audience too that just don't think this was quite enough, especially since that was my conclusion. But good documentary overall. I like Dinesh D'Souza as a person. I think he's done good, interesting work. So no shots against him. Just didn't quite meet that threshold to say, yeah, the entire election was stolen. All right. T-Bone says, am I right in thinking other U.S. elections in history have had allegations made by the losing party? Yeah, that was a point I brought up. I think there were a lot of leftists who said that Russians stole the election in 2016, right? It was Russian interference that did it. Maybe not in the same way that people are accusing the election of being stolen now, but of course, the losing party have always questioned the legitimacy of elections. Lawson says, I have a video of several people in chat clicking yes multiple times in this poll, and even their dead relatives clicking. Damn! Listen, I'm going to do a documentary on that one. Derek, if the documentary was made targeting mega crowd to bring them back to mainstream GOP, it makes sense they wouldn't need cases robust enough for Destiny / the left. Right. When did YouTube lift the ban on this discussion? I don't know. This might be banned in like 7 minutes. Right after I close it. It's going to be gone. Meta says, I'm still not sure. Oh, you already answered this. Lawson, my dude, tonight has made me think about you saying how two people can have completely different conclusions as if they are not watching the same video, for sure. Show the former FEC guy interview. Sorry, Brado, you're going to have to go watch it yourself. Stasi is a dream state. Been in chat, go touch grass, you're cringe. It's good to see you two together. Both of you have had such great arcs these last couple years. I bet there's some Destiny Lauren fan shipping out there. Absolutely none of that. Dr. Gonzo, Obama. Great one, good one. Speaking of arcs, I'm about to have an absolutely psychotic arc coming up. In the next 3 days here, I'll be posting the first of an absolutely a series of videos I never thought I would post on the internet. I never thought I would talk about. I'd stick around. They're going to be pretty spicy. Not spicy in an inappropriate way, okay? Relax, chat. Spicy in the information is going to be stuff that I've sat on for years and years and years and years, and I'm finally deciding I'm going to talk about. This is going to be my chaotic arc this month. So 2 or 3 days, just hold on, watch my channel. I'll be dropping the first of this series, okay? All right, I think I got all the super chats unless there were a few new ones. I really got to get out of here before you hit that Yordle cosplay goal. We're getting dangerously close. Oh god. Okay, I gotta get out of here. Gonna quickly answer these last ones. Andrew says, Yordle cosplay fun. Okay, relax. Archeon, can we do a Skype call this weekend? I can sort that out in Subscribestar for everyone in that tier. P Week says, can you say Obama? It would make my night. There you go. I did it. I said the line. Okay. Oh, geez. We're cutting it real freaking close here. Did I get all of them? Did I get all of them? Why do you skip super chats, Lauren? I didn't. Physicality. I got it. Darman over Dinesh D'Souza says from Southside. And okay. Whew. It's over. You guys just didn't make the Yordle fund. Thank goodness. Just off. Have a good night, y'all. It was great chatting. Maybe next time you'll get to Yordle level. Maybe.